Hello, hello, everybody. Sam's out there. I think you can see him out there kissing babies, shaking hands. Looks like Nikki getting ready. I think we got Dean over in this corner. So it's a race to 17. Winner gets to the finals. Yesterday, Craig Hurlbert won. So he plays the winner. He might be watching this today, or he might not care who he plays. Sam and me are going to call the match. I'm probably going to leave him. He doesn't know that yet and go finish painting a car, but I'll only be gone maybe a half hour. But Sammy's going to pretty much call this game. I'm going to go get these guys ready.
Demetrius Gelatis here with Minnesota Pool Bootcamp. We live in an age with abundant information about pool, but without organization and direction, it doesn't translate into bottom line results. I've been coaching full-time for over 6 years, and I've guided more than 200 students step by step to higher levels of pool. Now I've partnered with Slate Billiard Club to provide online group coaching and make our training available to players everywhere. No travel necessary. Join us online for just $19.95 a month. They'll get access to my Minnesota Pool Bootcamp playbook, covering cue ball, pattern play, mental game, and the common leaks that people have in applying this to get their game to the next level. The best part is I'll be there working with you every step of the way to give you the direction you need to see results right away.
Here we go. They're going to lag it up. Oh, this one could be close. Dino got the lag. So Dino gets the first break. Magic rack. It's 9-ball, but it's call shot. So there's no early nines. If you combo the 9 early, then you got to spot it and keep shooting. It counts as a legal shot, but you have to shoot them all in before the 9 for it to count. There is 3 foul rule, but you know, after the break in a magic rack 9-ball, there's only 5 balls left, so they're probably running out. I did not see Nick play his last match. Dean shoots at a pretty good lick once he makes his decision, so I don't think this will go the 3 hours that the yesterday one went, but we don't know yet. Welcome to the booth, Mr. Sam Howell.
Hey, Dave. Good to be here.
Howell.
Good to be with you. Good to be commentating this semifinal match here.
So we got Vikings versus Packers here.
Packers super fan Dean LANTHRIP, well established, and his green and gold runs through his veins, of course. And Nick LAHR is a big Vikings fan as well. So it's kind of a border battle of favorite football teams. And Dean's from Baldwin, and Nick is from Ramsey. So it's also a Minnesota Wisconsin battle as well. Looks like Dean's getting right to work here. He had an open shot off the break and has parlayed it nicely into a position here on the floor. Looks like he might be a little straighter than he wants to be, but He'll make it work with this 5 here and maybe go back and forth. Playing the side rail to side rail and back again for the 6. Shouldn't be too much trouble here.
Nice shot.
Nice play. Just pocket speed for the 5 there. That was
Yeah.
a real juicy little
cue ball
shot.
still, the rails are a little quick and this table's pretty fast. We learned last night.
Yeah, these rails really do play pretty fast.
Weather's changing in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dean's just trying to stay on the good side of it here. He should have no trouble with this angle.
Commentate.
Oh, just rushed it.
Mm-hmm.
Left it real close to the rail. I don't think it's frozen, so he can kick to the rail, which does open up a scratch, or he can play safe behind the 8 ball, perhaps the 9 ball. Wait and see what he decides here. His first shot in the game, in the match here. I think he can spin it and just get ahead of the side pocket there like he did. Go around. Got a little fortunate there to leave it, but he played a great shot to come around anyway. He's probably just hoping to go to the middle of the table there, but either way, he's got a great shot to continue to the 8. Just stun over to the side rail. Should be straight in on the 9 ball. Oh, wow. Not sure what went astray there.
It's early. First game. Jitters. He seemed pretty calm in it during the shot.
Yeah, didn't have any quirks in his stroke there. Looks like he just misaligned it.
Who is the best fundamental coach in Minnesota? Well, sorry, Sam, I can't give you the nod on that one. I have to give Brian Brecky the nod.
All right. All right.
He definitely can see it.
Is he playing a 2-way here, or is he just going pure?
I think he's going pure cut.
Yeah, he definitely came up short there. We were just talking about the speed of the rails earlier, and came up short surprisingly. And it's a bit of a wonky first game for both players here, but Nick has come away with it off of the scratch there. I'm kind of surprised that Dino went for such an extreme cut there in the corner, but he calls him like he sees him, and he goes full speed ahead with him, and you got to like that decisiveness. In general, overall, that's usually a good way to go, but it might have maybe not been ideal there as a first result, but it's early. Plenty of games left to go. Race to 17 winner breaks. The 1 ball is on the spot. They're using a magic rack template. And winner breaks for as long as they can keep it.
And I'm usually pretty good about keeping the scorecard on the left and the right, but it all determines what chair they sit in too, right?
Oh, yeah.
And if you watch most of our streams, like the 01 is on the right, that's my OCD about, just like last night, the guys never took the magic rack off of the table. I like to take it off early because if you run some balls and then now you're going to be shooting at a ball and you're going to be moving it, the ball
takes you out of your flow, your rhythm, or distraction.
You're supposed to take it off when it's not in play.
Yeah, I agree.
Because right now, if he moved the 9 left, right, top, center, Dean ain't going to care. It's not going to have anything to do with anything.
And you can always just pinch the object ball and pull it out underneath, too.
Always. Me and, who did I play? What's his name?
You played Vlad.
Me and Vlad. We took it off right away.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. He's got a couple duck options, but it's early. He could try to just cut this in, get between the 6 and the rail, and get down by the 3.
Yeah, if he ends up behind the 3 on the top rail, that would be ideal if he just split the field goal there between the 6 and the
Looks
8.
like he's gonna just put the cue ball on the 6.
Yeah, smart shot. Didn't quite hit the speed there,
Yep.
but that was the smart shot.
Vlad kept going with those last night, and he missed a lot early, but he stuck with it and kept playing them, and eventually he kind of got the timing and the speed down, you know. But he didn't sell Dean out a shot, just a return safe here. Unless Dean cuts it in the upper corner. I don't know. It's a little...
Yeah. I mean, Dean probably likes the bank, but he probably doesn't like the
bank,
shot on the 3, but he's willing to accept it.
Cue ball doesn't go nowhere.
Yeah, he's
good
willing,
shot.
he's willing to accept it.
That. Nice.
Yeah, he's willing to accept the 3 there, but
so if he's a shooter, he could still shoot here.
I like the safe there that you suggested is just about any type of safe on that shot.
Only because it doesn't lead to nothing.
The reward isn't there,
Yeah.
and I think Dean's just realizing that if he cuts this 3 in, he's probably going to go off the 4 pink ball there and scratch in the corner. So now he's in a position where he has to almost play the combination or a safe from almost a full table distance away.
The 1 ball safe would have been easier.
Whereas before the 1 ball was much easier to control.
So let's see what he's thinking here. It's early. He is calling the combo. He might just fire it in and
there's a nice 2-way. Yeah, there's a nice 2-way there. If he would have hit it harder, he could have been underneath the 9.
Yeah. So
but I think he was playing the make there. He wasn't playing a 2-way.
No, I think he's a little bit lean towards the Tony Chohan of, you know, like eventually we got to run these balls and win this game. You know what I mean? Like, you know, eventually you have to be a shooter.
Yeah, sooner or later. Yeah, and he'd rather do it sooner than later. That's his style of play, which is
that's why he runs those racks. You know.
Yeah, similar to my own approach and style of play.
Okay, so he at least left a distance.
Yeah, he might have been trying to hit that a little farther to get the 9 ball involved there, but he was definitely not playing a bank.
So Nick's back to the table, and he definitely has a doable out. If the 3 goes down, he could win the game pretty handily.
Yeah, it should be academic here. After the 3, the cue ball's just going to roll up naturally for the 5 in the side. I would think he'd be just fine with accepting that. Oh, it caught it a little thick. And at that angle with topspin too, that does tend to pull.
Yeah, I did that in
the rail.
my last live stream match. I shot one of those right into the rail like that.
Towards the bottom rail.
Don't feel special, Nick.
Yeah.
I just did it yesterday.
Same table, You know, and that you know, that miss is not as far off as it looked in terms of how he cut that ball. You just have to put some left English on
a little
that
bit
shot.
outside, and he maybe meant to, but didn't.
Or you just have to overplay it and basically cut it into the left side point.
I do look forward to watching these guys get settled in a little bit. I don't think they know each other much. Maybe that doesn't matter to either one of them, but I don't think they've ever played. So
I don't believe
I
so.
do like playing someone that I've never played or don't know, you know.
Right. There is a certain freedom to that of
there is
expectations and previous history.
I think you try harder, you bear down harder.
Right.
Like you want to assert your dominance, or at least that's what Jared Bailey says about his break.
Yep. He's there to wake people up.
Yeah.
He's gonna
you see that
in the room.
Now you're thinking about my break. Well, you know.
Everybody in the room hears Jared Bailey's breaks, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Even in the next room.
So he can probably roll this right in the side, huh?
I think he's gonna I would play this in the corner from the looks of it. Let's check the overhead cam. It actually looks a lot further away from the rail on the overhead cam.
Yeah, the shooting it on the side is really straight, so he might not get shaped.
Yeah, I like the corner here,
right.
just rolling forward.
Yeah.
He's not going to scratch, so he's certainly okay to just get
Unless
back
you
towards
just
the middle.
pop this with like a little.
He's willing to accept it.
Except a little. I mean, even if he would have rolled a little further, but
Yeah,
he can
more topspin.
He can make this without checking it and have a good shot on the nine.
Yeah, the first camera angle really looked detrimental to the side pocket, but then when you went over to the overhead cam, it looked so much better.
Even if he came off this rail and you know, and got back to here, you know, that's not bad easy. Yeah, that's about the best he could do without making the 8 difficult with a bunch of twists.
Exactly. And Dean's, you know, proven and shown that he's willing to accept the shot as it is and just be a shot maker. Oh, he didn't. Oh, no. Just caught a scratch off the bottom rail.
Okay, so a couple
Dean
games.
just can't catch a break, making 2 9 balls and scratching on both of them.
Couple games he gave Nick early.
Yeah, that's that
Nick
sneaky angle.
Nick is up 2-0 and has not shot a 9-ball yet, which is always relaxing.
Has he shot an 8-ball yet?
I don't know.
I don't think he shot an 8-ball.
Yeah, I don't think he has. I think he's maybe shot like up to the 4-ball, and then
I don't
Dean
know.
runs the rack and
Yeah. Well, he's getting the benefit of the errors, and he's really didn't even have to take advantage of the errors. They were literally spoon-fed 2 games. So things are definitely going Nick's way to begin. But race to 17. Dino's just laughing it off, which is a good sign. He's being good-natured about it and not letting it get him down. Just kind of laughing. What do you do? Hey,
what do you
crazy
do?
shot, stupid leave, whatever. Just shake it off and keep going forward. It's just good to see. That suits Dino's personality, though.
So that was a pretty good break. The one ended up, I mean, he didn't get a very good roll on the leave, but
Yeah, he made the 1-ball and he made the 2-ball. Now he's on the 3 with maybe a chance to play safe. It doesn't look like he has any offensive option here. Certainly he's not 1-rail banking this. Although that's technically possible, I don't see that playing out.
so he's
going underneath. I like this shot. I
Not
think he
calling
can
a
make
push.
this.
Yeah,
I think he can make this. Oh, he had a chance to make it. And the leave was there too. If he hits that thinner, he makes it. And then the cue ball
4-ball would
travels
squirt
farther.
out. Yep.
The cue ball travels farther and gets closer.
What Sam's saying is, yeah, the cue ball would have been even more out here, and he would have had a good look.
Yeah.
So Dean might duck here, I think.
You can measure those shots out from the rail rather than
Last night we had
but
Craig would bank this in all day, but Dean played a smart shot. I think he left him a little bit.
yeah, he did. And that was a smart shot. Just the 5-ball tickled out of the way a little bit there. He was hoping to get underneath it. Left Nick a makeable shot here on one camera angle. It looks more makeable than the other for some reason. But it does look like he's able to make this ball and get around the 8 for the 4-ball if he chooses to do so.
Good shot. He got close.
Ooh.
So he got a little closer to his
He
work.
almost scratched.
He smiled. He had a little smile too. He's like, okay, I got a little bit on that one.
Yeah.
But he probably learned from it, and maybe he can chill out a little bit. Because here we go. I don't think he can draw this. Yeah, he's jacking up. So he just wants to go over by the side pocket. Went towards it. Yep, clear the 7. That's pretty good.
If anybody sees the wiggling shoes and the red backpack just over his shoulder, that's Drew's son. Drew, his son, is watching just off camera, or he's playing Roblox and occasionally watching, which is more likely the case, as youngsters tend to do. Well, he's got himself tree-topped here, and you can see the expression on his face that he's not particularly pleased with his roll-up on the ball here. He should be able to just try to roll this in and take what comes from the position. But it is awkward, to say the least. He's wisely looking at the other end from the cue ball finish position of where his next line to the ball towards the 7 would be. So that helps him gauge what speed he wants to hit this ball at.
And no, Wall Doggy, you can't get into this tournament. You should have signed up when you were playing good, although I'm sure Dean will play you a set right after this. Come on down and watch.
Let's watch. Yeah, he really put a big stroke on that. He was hoping to just come straight across, but I think he went forward. Considering the velocity he put on that, he actually hit it very accurately, which is not always the case. It's not easy to do. He actually got more than he wanted there. Be interested to see if he goes three
mean,
rails for shape here or two.
He could roll it into the upper right,
Yeah.
bump into the 9, and have the 8 in the side, maybe.
Yeah, that's
I don't
tricky.
know. It's just a thought. It looks like it'll hit the right side of the 9, but might hit it a little full too. But I'm not a back cutter here. I think I'm trying to shoot this in the upper right, but
Yeah, he went with the shot that I saw there.
he left him Dean a combo.
Yeah, he went the two rails there, and I like that cue ball position, but the shot might have been prohibitive, as you were thinking that just the pocketing is maybe more
A
challenging.
lot of
there.
people back cut that like that. A lot of people do. Maybe my shot's the wrong one, but I like.
I see what you're saying.
That
If you
for
got the
me.
9 ball there but then you're looking at a back cut on the 8, and you just go around the 3 rails on that shot. So Dino put him on the top and bottom rail there. He come up a little short, but left him long. If there is a long shot on a 7-foot table, some may disagree or agree with that, but either way, he left him pretty close to the distance of the table. I would think he's going for pure make here and playing 2 rail, 3 rail position on the side pocket. He hit it. That was a great shot. There's his 3rd rail for position on the 8. Oh, he didn't call it. Wow, that's surprising. Must not have called the 7 ball. Or
He was
called
probably
safe.
he was just going to maybe play safe and try
Trying
to
to put him
duck
behind the 9.
which
Yeah.
he definitely did.
Yeah, interesting.
Just clipped it thin.
Dino firing away.
So I think Dino does not want to scratch in the side.
Nope.
I think he is giggling about that in his thoughts right now. Like, I ain't scratching. Nope, no chance.
Do you float this ahead or do you draw
He's
it back?
draw, yeah.
No,
oh, no,
float
he
ahead,
floated
yeah.
ahead, yep.
He's like,
I'm not
"See, I didn't
scratching."
scratch." You
Yeah,
could almost
right.
read his mind there, yeah.
Yeah.
See, I didn't scratch. 2-1. Dino feels like he's vindicated there now that he's got an 8 ball and a 9 ball without scratching. That might have been the 7 ball, might have been the first 7 ball that Nick made, but he didn't call the shot. He called a safety and ended up hitting it really good.
Nick smiles it off because, like, hey, you changed the score while I'm because Dean gave him the score. Hey, you score while I'm racking that. Dean's in a hurry. you know?
Yeah.
He actually asked Nick to do that, I think. And
Trying
Nick,
to save 30 seconds off the shot clock there.
I mean,
or the match clock.
at least 10,
Yeah.
right? Right, at least 10. Like,
Yeah.
but we all appreciate it.
Yeah. Dino's a character.
So sounds like Wall Doggy and Ed are going to be playing on table 3 at TNT because Wall Doggy can't lose tonight. Doesn't matter if he's playing Ed. We do got 2 of the best big table players here practicing.
And if you want to know who those players are, come on down and check them out.
Can't tell you.
It's like the secret show.
But nobody in this town wants to play either one of them.
Nope, not likely. Not in their full
Not that they've been practicing here
yeah,
once a week and getting ready.
not at their full powers, that's for sure.
Always fun to have them here.
Yeah. We get some celebrity sightings and
We do.
some semi-pro type speed players in here that nobody knows about. But if you're here in person, then you would. Got a nice little bump on the 2 there and lined up pretty good. I think he'll just try and go underneath the 4 ball here and back to the center of the table.
And we know they won't play you, Billy, Bob, Joe. You're a pro, a good pro, not an under pro.
Mm-hmm. And also ran pro, sub-tier.
Somebody
many
should
words for that.
sponsor you, pro.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he just caught the edge of the 9 there. He was hoping to get a little bit of that inside spin there. It looked like he might not have put enough stroke or enough spin on it to come clean through there, and just caught the underside of the 9 and blocked him from getting up to the middle of the table where he wanted to be. Nice touch there. Looks like a good speed and
shot.
good cut thinness there to keep that
I like
in play.
it too because it doesn't have a clean hit on it. The only thing is 7 is a little tough.
Mm-hmm.
So, even if you got, like, if you had ball in hand, how would you run out? You'd have to, like,
put it behind the 7 and play it in the side.
Yeah, so there's going to be a little bit of cat and mouse in this game. A little bit of.
I suspect there's going to be a full hit on the 7 when it comes up, and then he's just going to hide him behind the 8 ball.
Sure. Little stop.
Yeah.
So Dean got a good hit.
Oh,
Yep,
he touched it.
He touched it.
He did touch it.
Well, and now the 6 is in a little bit more favorable position to come 2 rails around and hit that 7. If you're kind of. No, he hit it.
Yep, he almost picked it up.
No,
Dean warned him.
Yep, good call, Dino, to shout out. Yep, he did tick it.
Yeah, that ball definitely moved.
Yep,
There's no question. But it's easy enough for Nick to miss that. If he's sitting in his chair, he doesn't have the view that we have.
Yeah. Yep. No, and it did hit that side nipple and make it look like it wasn't gonna.
Yeah, because that was definitely not part of the plan.
But it clicked it.
But
and
it
hit
did
the
just
6
click
full.
it, and it hit the 6, and he made a legal shot. Unintended as it may have been, it's still legal. Still counts. So is Nick gonna just cut this in thin and go back and forth, and hope he gets on the good side of the 5 and brush into that 7-8 from here? Or is he gonna duck? Well, he did. He just cut it a little thin.
Yep.
And that thinness caused him to miss, but it also caused him to brush into the 5, which changes the dynamic of the breakout here.
Yeah, he can use the 5 to break the 7 in rotation. You don't usually get to do that, but in this case, if he gets a good lay on this, he can bump the 7 off and still shoot the 6 because he's got shape from the breakout area.
I don't think he can slow this down enough, can he?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think he did it perfect.
Just enough, yeah.
Nope, he wanted a little more.
He's too straight, yeah. Or he's down table, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, he's down table.
So now you roll this ahead. You roll it. Where's my mouse? You roll it ahead and then try to come boom, boom into the 7 maybe. And if you then play your safe, we'll see what he does.
I think I would do the same thing, except for I would play it short and not hit it.
Just go all safe.
Just let it go safe. Yeah.
I think he's got the perfect angle to break this out.
Yeah. But there's no guarantee of being able to make the 7 ball if he breaks it out.
Okay, so he didn't scratch.
I think this ball rubs in. Think he can pass that? Do you use your handy tool there? We'll see if he can.
This way?
Yeah. Because he's back cutting it? No. I thought he might be able to spin that in.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
I mean, tight.
It's tough to say. We don't have a very good view of it, but
Yeah.
I think he would have shot it if he could.
Yeah.
So now Nick can play a little ticky little save here.
Yeah, I like Nick's odds here. The way he just hit that 4 ball really thin and floated back behind the stack earlier.
I just think this is one you don't want to move too much. Just use the 8, get him behind it. He might. I mean, you could almost where he put his chalk there. You could hit thin the 7 and kind of leave him down.
I like
in
going
that
down
corner.
table. I like just rubbing the edge of the left side and then going down table.
Behind the 9 or something.
Yeah. He double kissed it, but he went the right way.
That was
Just hit
perfect speed without the double kiss, but
Yeah, just hit it a hair full. Now Dino's got a straight in shot. He's probably going to float forward with the 8 in the opposite corner. If he's got just a hair of an angle, he could stun it over. No, he didn't. He just stopped it.
Yeah, he's a simple player, dude. Right there. I'm shooting it from right there. And
Yep.
he understands which side of the stop shot, and
He wants
he
to be
can
on,
stop stun too pretty good where it
Yeah.
roll through. He's pretty good at that shot.
That's a tricky little shot
It is too, and he uses it effectively
to get it to go full distance. And
yeah, and
have
then
the cue
just
ball through
roll
one rotation
yeah.
or 2 rotations.
There's bar table players that try forever to slow roll that,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
doesn't
and
work. Yeah.
he just pops it in, and
Yeah,
so
he
he's
made a
got a
nice
good look
couple
on
shots
another
there.
9. I'll
Now-
have the replay ready just in case he doesn't
Yeah.
scratch
Yep.
again.
Oh no, he stood
I
into
missed
it. Stood into it. Yeah. Yeah, he just
Shake
shook
that
that
one
off.
off,
That was
Dino.
a brain fart there.
Nick,
And I just got done saying the nice shots that he made. They weren't so nice as shots as in terms of difficulty in making them, but just in the cue ball minimizing movement. So Nick gets another free one.
Yep. Nick's sitting at 3-1 thinking,
I haven't even done anything yet.
I wonder if I can play today. Like, I wonder if I'm going to get going here, because
Yeah.
he hasn't had to do much, which is probably fine with him, but he also wants to get going, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's made some good safeties. He's made some good shots.
Yep.
It's not like he hasn't done anything, but he hasn't done anything that was productive in taking
Hasn't
a
had
win.
to yet. Yeah,
He
yeah.
hasn't taken a win. They've just been given to him. I mean, with 2 scratches on the 9 balls and a missed 9 ball, leaving him straight in. I mean,
Yeah, so if you're joining us, everybody, Nick can run out. He just hasn't had to.
yeah.
So let's see how it goes. Dean can shake that one off.
And Dean's not going to slip on banana peel and land on another banana peel.
There's way too much fight in
There's
Dean
way too many
Lanther.
games left, and he's definitely not going to roll over. So
3-1.
he might feel a little snake bit right now, but you know, Nick's definitely getting a free roll to start out. But he's going to have to start earning them as well here.
It's a good break, and again, just at the last second, he got a bump that makes him.
Mm-hmm. So you can push out here, which you can basically do anything. There's no foul. You don't have to hit a rail. You can make a ball. You can tap the cue ball. You can do anything you want. And then it's your opponent's option to force you to shoot or to accept the shot as it is. It's basically a free shot after the break in rotation pool, 9 ball, 10 ball. For those of you who have not encountered that playing leagues or playing 8 ball, that's why. I don't really see that there's a benefit in going 2 rails to kick this ball here, because you're just going to leave him a shot. So yeah, he's going to
Push him down in the corner.
down
See
in
if
the
Dean
corner
wants
here.
to try to leg that
Yeah.
one in.
And that's really all it is.
Dean could cross bank this with top left, try to make it up by the 8, and bring the cue ball, you know, kind of off here with twist back down here.
That's pretty high level.
It's kind of a free shot, though.
Yeah.
Well, he left him on the end rail, though. I don't think he can.
Seems like Dean's a little jumpy and shooting a little quicker than usual.
Yeah.
He's a little antsy, a little itchy of some sort. Just caught that one full.
So again, Nick comes to the table. He doesn't have a good look. Just maybe like a safety. Bank the 1 towards the 8. Bring the cue ball.
I
to
think
the
the 1
left.
ball 3 rails into the side pocket,
Just
right
fire
next
it
to the
in.
2.
You're gonna
Yep.
just fire it in.
Yep. Free shot.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's see it. I mean, I was only half kidding, but I mean, that is a real shot.
No, yeah, it's definitely laying there. Either way, Nick's like, how am I here?
It's probably better to leave the cue ball behind the 7 and the 3.
Yeah, I think he'll go straight safe. I think that's what he meant to do. Or no, maybe he played your shot. He didn't
Yeah.
call it.
I mean, I wasn't as crazy as I sounded
Well,
there.
at least now everybody knows Sam's legit. That
That's
doesn't know
right.
pool.
That's right. And there's never been a doubt, I don't think. But just in case there's some non-believers out there. And he would have had shape on the 2 of sorts, but definitely an opportunity to play safe on the 2 if he did make it. So Dino's got a pretty thin back cut here. I think he's just going to lag it up.
roll it over the edge.
Yep, and he can play the 2 here with the similar type of shot, I think.
3 go off the 9.
Off the 9, yep.
Yeah, he might be able to get the 3 in there.
He could even play the 3-9 combo, which he would not win. Or he could play the 3-6, but I think the 3-6 has a tendency that the 3 and the 7 could get kind of too cozy to come away with a good shot. So, the safety might be the best.
Shoot the
best
3 and
option.
play safe.
Yeah.
Look at that shot.
Dean says, "I'll show you a safe."
So now he's going to be kicking at it.
Yeah, I like just kind of rolling that ball in. I could appreciate that Dean put a big stroke on that. He was probably just trying to hit the bottom rail and come back out again.
Sure.
I don't think he was trying to touch anything.
To move him,
to break anything out. He must be able to shave it here. He's going to try and lock it up into the 8. But I think the cue ball is going to come back. He'll have to spin it so that the cue ball doesn't come right back into the 3 and hit it again.
Even kind of seems like the scratch is in
play.
The
scratch might be in play in the side pocket too, but he's got to hit it pretty thin. Oh, he hit it thicker. Not sure what he was trying to do there. I think he might have just kind of gave him that one of those what the hell strokes there and just kind of whacked it.
Yeah.
Not sure that he had a really well established plan in his mind when he hit that ball.
Didn't look like he could hit that much of it. Like you said, I thought it might go towards the 8, but
yeah, he did hit that a thicker. Maybe did he skip it a little bit and maybe almost jump it to get the thickness on the 3 that he did get, or maybe we just didn't see it smoothly and accurately from our perspective.
Yeah, and in this game, like the cross bank shots that I mentioned earlier, they're really good 2-ways because they end up leaving. If you miss them,
right?
If you miss them thin, they end up on the end rail frozen kind of.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
I do that a lot when I'm chicken to shoot the ball straight in.
Yeah.
Like Dean shot that one and missed it.
Yeah, the long straight laggers.
It's like, no, I don't want to lose the game on that. So it's like,
oh, that's a good point.
I'm not Billy.
What's the play here? He's thinking about it. I mean, I don't think you want to bank this ball. You don't want to cut it
down by the 8 or something.
I think you just try to play safe here. Yeah.
Banked it by the 8 if it holds up.
Slowed him down. Yeah, that's what he was hoping for. It
kind of
looks like he's got
like Dean's got a kick at it. Huh?
Does he have a piece of it or no? It doesn't look like he does. Do you call the 9 ball here? I think you've got a pretty big funnel with that 6 ball.
Too far to jump. So yeah, maybe kick off the end rail or something.
Well, I wouldn't say it's too far to jump. I would say it's too far to jump reliably.
Yeah.
But he can certainly.
Sam would grab the break cue and fire that.
No.
Oh, and he
broke him wide open.
So that is a foul.
So once again, Nick's walking into a kind of a free roll here. I think he just shoots the 3 in the left corner and just kind of stops it there. Or
I like that.
Draws back to the rail and back out again, which doesn't really serve a lot.
Stop shot the 3,
yeah.
Stop shot the 6, shoot the 7,
yeah.
in the side.
Yeah, he looks like he's going in the side pocket there to give himself a little bit more angle. And he's going to come back to the center of the table and play the 6 and the 7 in the same pocket. I like that too. That way you're not reliant on a stop shot for the 6 or just an inch a draw, and then you get too much and you end up with a bad shot on the 7 on the side.
I'm going to grab a coffee. Do you want anything?
No, I'm good. So he rolled forward and he took it in the side. It's more reliable than drawing it back to the center. So that's a good shot. It's a better shot. I don't mind saying when I see a better shot. One thing to keep in mind, though, too, at the for the at-home viewer is that we have to just kind of make snap decisions here and kind of go, well, maybe he'll do this. Well, maybe he'll do that. Because, a lot of times they shoot pretty quick and we don't really get a chance to examine or analyze or pontificate on what the possibilities might be. and everybody kind of has different shooting styles, different preferences, and hopefully players are going to shoot to their strengths. They're going to do the things that they have the most confidence in, or the strokes that they find most favorable or reliable in their mind. Whether they actually are or not can be debatable, but so you never really know sometimes what a given player will do. That 9-ball wiped its feet on the way in, but he did hit it clean enough to make it. 4-1 and breaking. You may have joined us late. This is the Slate 625 and under shootout. We're playing bar table 9-ball with the magic rack, 1 on the spot. No 9-ball breaks, no early 9s, and no slop 9-ball. So if you do make a 9-ball in the break, it does count as a ball. If it's the only ball you made, you spot it up and continue shooting. If you make a combo with the 9-ball at some point and you call it, it is spotted back up and you continue to shoot. It is not a win. And slop, there is no slop, which means you call every shot. Ball in pocket only. If slop shot does occur, it is similar to 10-ball. The opponent has the option to force you to shoot the result of your slopped in ball or uncalled ball, or he may accept the table as is. All right, Nick, 4-1. I'll make sure I get on the scorecard here as Dave has left to get a coffee. I want to make sure we get on board with that. All right, just looking at the 2-5 combo here. Doesn't want the 2-ball to cut thinly, overly thin on the 5-ball, because it will bounce off the rail and leave the area. Wants to kind of get a thicker hit like that. Keep it near the pocket, which he's done well. It also gives him a thicker hit on this shot so that he can slow and spin his way to staying close to the 4-ball, which is next. Well done there, controlling the speed, hitting a full ball there as much as he could to pocket that corner pocket 2-ball. Now he's standing in the line where his cue ball will be leaving the rail, looking at his potential lines towards the 6. He's got to fade the scratch shot there in the side, so he doesn't want too much of a element of danger there. So he's got to draw this back or spin it back. I don't think he's in love with that result, but he might be thin enough to be able to hit the point here with the cue ball. Let's see here. I think he can just slow roll this with top and get to the point. Come back across. Yep, well done. He's got a little close to his work there with the 9, but he's fine. It's interesting to see if he'll snatch this back with draw and get ahead of the 8 or behind the 8. Which pocket he's going to choose, or if he's going to go forward. Yep, he was able to cinch it in. Looked like he had a little more angle from the camera angle I was looking at, or the camera view I was using, but it was a little fuller, and he was able to snatch that back easily enough. Nice angle on the 8 for a nice return angle on the 9. Yeah, rubbed that 9 in again there, but he did make it. He'd gathered himself and focused in on the 9-ball and smooth rolled it in. 5-1. While he's preparing the magic rack here, be sure to like, subscribe, and share the stream if you enjoy the matches you've been watching. This is the Slate Billiards Club 625 and under shootout. Players put in 265 to play. And this is the semifinal match between Nick LAHR and Dean LANTHRIP. Nick LAHR out of Ramsey, Minnesota, and Dean LANTHRIP out of Baldwin, Wisconsin. So we have a border battle here today. Super Vikings fan, super fan Nick against Green Bay Packers super fan Dean LANTHRIP. So we'll see who prevails today into the finals. They will play, the winner will play Craig Hurlbert, who bested Vladimir Mahia earlier this weekend. And Craig is awaiting his opponent in the finals, which will be played within the next week at their discretion. The format of this tournament is really pretty cool. Basically, you just have a long race with one opponent, and it's single elimination. And you just get together on the phone or what have you and say, hey, this is when I'm available. Let's try and make a match. And you have 1 week to do it. And if you can't decide on a location, you have to play at Slate by Sunday. And the final 8 are live streamed, as the other tournaments have all been similarly live streamed from Slate Billiards Club in St. Paul. Looks like the combo was just hit a little thin by Nick there, but Dino's going to draw back into it. Take his luck on the one ball, which appears to have been bad luck at this point. He's kind of drooping his shoulders and shrugging off his misfortune there that the one didn't lay up a little better in the side pocket for him. I think he could kick this ball and almost not even really have a miss, because the 2 ball where it's sitting, or he could just cut it in pure. I feel like going 2 rails here could be really good, or even 1 rail would be maybe better for position on the 2. Because I think if you go 2 rails, you end up with a bank on the 2 ball, but there it is. Perfect. Great shot, Dino. Great recovery. Dino just had a 1 rail kick shot.
You can go say goodbye if you want to.
And pocketed the 1 ball on the side. He hit it pure as he could be. That was a great shot, Dino.
So I think he can pull this back just a little bit. Just like that. That's a good lead. I mean, I think he wants to hold this for the side, but I don't know. That's what he wanted to do. Ooh, beautiful shot. That's some touch shot there. That's some touch shot there by Dino. Hey, Eric McFeeders. I just got back into the booth. We got a good one here. I don't think it's going to end how it started. Went and got a coffee, watched the guys run a rack back in the back room, and now I am back. Dean got a little funny on the 7 ball. He's still at the table. He's going to back cut it, it looks like, and come 3 rails. And that's what he tried to do. He just juiced it a little too much. Probably kicking himself. He's given Mr. Nick a lot of really good looks to get ahead in the match.
Yeah, I just stepped out. Dean makes
was
a nice
running.
draw carom for
Yeah,
the
he
one,
made a really
one
nice
ball.
soft.
Then he makes a super nice one rail kick on the one in the side, full table kick shot, precision shot, and then I come back and the 7 ball's hanging. So I missed all the fun, I guess.
He back cutted it with just a little bit too much juice.
Oh. This 9 ball looks very similar to the last 9 ball from the previous game. A little bit easier, but similar position, similar angle. Nick hits that one cleanly in this time.
Puts her down.
Yeah. I mean, if they drop, they drop. Don't get me wrong, but it definitely helps your confidence when you're smooth, clean, making the 9 instead of kind of wobbling it in or rattling it in. So I think he's settling into the game. I mean, he's got 3 games for free and maybe 4 games for free at this point. Feeling pretty good about his score and getting warmed up, getting comfortable with the speed. Taking a time out there, Nick, briefly to say goodbye to his son, Drew. And Angela is there as well, putting her cues away. I know you guys can only see their feet at this camera angle, but off camera, slightly off camera. So Drew's heading back home with Angela. And that's really cool that Drew got to see a few games and watch a little bit of his dad playing pool. So. And they assured me that they're getting it on the YouTube on the 50-inch or 55-inch screen at home, and they'll get to hear my commentary and they'll get to watch Nick's shooting. So that's really cool that they were able to see that live in person before going home to watch it live stream on TV.
Looks like Dean might have took a break there.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. I think that's probably a good opportunity to kind of maybe reset himself and clear his head and hopefully exercise the demons that may be plaguing him and the snake bit feeling that no matter what he does, it just ends up going astray and gives Nick a great look or literally a free game. So I don't think Dean's the type to get too frustrated and go on tilt, but a little cooler is of
course, go get some
is a good idea too. So we've got a couple of folks in the chat here we can catch up with here. Looks like a lot of trash talking and trolling for the most part.
Oh, he's racking.
Eric McFeeder says, "What's up, Dave and Sam?" Photographer of many pool tournaments. If you're familiar with the name Eric McFeeders, plays a pretty good game of pool himself, but is often at the tournaments like the more prominent tournaments in the Twin Cities. Maybe the Seco Invitational down in Faribault, maybe one of the bigger events up in the Twin Cities area. The Upper Midwest Bar Table Shootout, he's always taking pictures there, among many others, like perhaps the MoMA tournament at Canterbury or the M8 tournament at Canterbury. So those are probably 4 out of the 5 or 6 biggest tournaments in the Twin Cities and greater metro area. That is an unpaid endorsement, just letting people know what Eric McFeeders is out there doing when he's not playing pool. He's taking pictures of pool players, and we do appreciate those getting posted on CR's web page on Facebook and other tournament MPA Facebook profiles that a lot of his shots do end up on. Hey, thanks, Mike. Says we sound excellent. Mike was kind enough to set up the computers and the camera setups and everything as he was here earlier. Dave had to kind of sneak in at the 11th hour from work to come out to Slate here. And I was here practicing for a while with Angela and Drew, so I am not the technical expert IT person for computer, camera, or audio. So I don't touch what I can't fix. So appreciate that, Mike, giving us a head start. It's Mike Pankoff, the de facto manager of Slate, if you will. Definitely handles all of the social media for Slate and the Slate phone. If you would like to get a tour of Slate and be a potential member here, we're welcoming new members. And Mike does seminars and instruction on a private individual basis as well as group. Matter of fact, I think he was at Shooters for an hour or so earlier today giving a juniors instructional seminar. So out there in the community doing good work. Appreciate that, Mike. Plays a bit of pool in one pocket, as I recall. If anybody's inclined, I'm sure he'd love to find a worthy opponent here at Slate Billiards Club, as commitments allow. All right, well, back to the game here. Nick had scratched earlier on the break, and it's been a little bit of back and forth. And at this point, it's 4th to Dean Lanthrip. Nick played a safe off the 3, and it was a good safe, but I think he might have just somehow, unfortunately, left the perfect window for Dean to cut this 3-ball in. Maybe just a little skip jump to cut the 3-ball in the side pocket. Oh, he went for the combo. Wow. Hey, that was a great shot. I did not see that as an aggressive as a play as that was. I mean, if he could hit that side of the 3 to make the combo, he could certainly, you would think, hit enough of the 3 to cut it in. But that was his prerogative, and made a great shot. Yeah, if Dina's anything, he's a shot maker. Yeah, came with it again. That was a pretty strong shot too, with the cue ball basically right where you want it to be, in line with this 5. He's got to back cut that and code 2 rails right back up to the middle of the table. Not quite as far as the cue ball is right now, just a little bit short. I would say probably right around there. He's pretty close to that line. He was off by about 2 balls maybe, but this is still a good angle. He can travel up table. I think he would kind of be in between a draw shot and a spin shot. If he was thicker on it, he would draw it, and if he was thinner on it, he would spin it to the rail that he's standing by. But we'll see what he elects to do. Yeah, he spun it back to the rail he was standing by there. Made it look easy. Let's see if he likes the cue ball line here off of the 8. That's what he's looking at, the return angle for the cue ball here off the top rail. He's probably looking to just spin in a little bit and come back for the 9 here. He's taking his time here. He's giving away a couple of free ones. So he wants to make sure that he's doing his due diligence here, taking his time. Lined up very purposefully there, very deliberately. And he just can't help himself. Wow, he's got to be really dejected there. He's just kind of got himself on snake bit mode. Just can't believe he didn't make the 9-ball there. I'm sure many of his supporters at home watching on the live stream are just as alarmed and confused as Dean is at this point. He just can't seem to get out of his own way, and is once again left the opportunity at Nick's feet. 7-1. Yeah, you got to really feel for Dino there. I just felt like he did all the right things there as far as taking his time and lining up, but maybe the time he took didn't include his stroke mechanics as well. But not sure what went astray there. Maybe upon examination and after the match, he'll be able to watch back and recall what the recipe was for disaster there on that last 9-ball. I certainly didn't expect him to miss it, so I didn't hit the replay button. So we won't have the opportunity to examine that on the live stream while we're live streaming it. Moving forward, Nick's ahead 7-1. He's got a great shot on the 1-ball. He's just going to roll ahead here with some right English and mostly top. Go to the bottom, the top rail rather. Come right up through the center of the table. He's got a nice lie there on the 2. I think he might just roll this in and try and stay close to the rail on the left side, on the right side here rather. Yep, just as I suspected there. He's got a nice just little peel off angle here. He's going to roll up towards the 5. Just center ball or maybe even a little top. And he should be laying nicely on the 5. Yeah, he's a little straight there. Not the end of the world, but I think he would have preferred an angle to go to the top rail right about here and try to come down here and get into the 6. Would have been the ideal path. Or even here or there. Either way would have been good. Oh, wow. Air Jordan right into the pocket there. 3 points for the cue ball, but just was really trying to gun up and just smoke the draw shot there. And I think he might have just clenched his hand or dropped his elbow and just scooped underneath the cue ball. And that's a result of being so straight in on the 5 that he didn't have an angle to work with to bring him back to the 6. So he was just trying to smoke that draw shot straight back and go 1 rail and then miss the 8 and come through to the 6. So Dean got a call from the governor there. He got a reprieve and managed to slip right into the nipple there. And unfortunately, another roll, and he's left himself a safety on the 6-ball. There you go, Dean. He doesn't feel any better about that shot because he had it in the bag there to get down for the 6 and just caught the point and sent him back up table. He's played a good save here though, so hopefully he'll get another chance to show what he can do. But Nick's just kind of living on easy street here. Everything's just kind of come gift wrap for him for the most part. He's played a couple of nice shots. He's played a couple of nice games, a couple of nice safeties. But I'd say more than not, he's been given very fortuitous opportunities to win games. And he's taken advantage of them. All right, Dean's back in action here. Very thin on this cut shot. Don't know if he's going to attack that or not. The safety would be a little dubious as well, but I think he's going to go for it. Nice shot. Just kind of banged into that 8 there and ended up a little bit random. So he's got to play a recovery shot here. I think he's going to play a safe. I think he's going to try and snug that cue ball up to the 9 here. He's looking at cutting the 8 in the side. I don't. Wow, what a great shot. I was going to say, I don't know if he wants to take that risk with circumstances being what they are, but, you know, I got to like Dean's mentality here. He's sticking with the horse he rode in on, which is firepower and shooting the balls in. So he's staying true to himself and true to his strength, true to his strengths of ball pocketing and shooting. So, you know, hats off to Dean there. He got himself into a W, 2-7. But I think that's a confidence builder and reassuring that, you know, hey, I can still put these balls in. I can still take some tough licks and some tough rolls, and I can still come back out firing like always. So good for him to reestablish that, not only to prove it to himself, but also to kind of indicate to his opponent that, hey, I ain't done yet. There's no quitting Dean, that's for sure. Whether he's getting good luck, bad luck, good rolls or bad rolls, or, you know, he's shooting good or shooting bad, you know, he's going to keep coming. He's going to keep coming with the shots. So good on him for staying the course. He does have a little bit of work to do. So he's got to start now. It's 7-2 in a race to 17. Well, he's got a nice little setup here to start with. He's made a ball. He's got an open shot at the 1 ball. The 2 balls down, and the 3 can go in the corner or the side. I would expect that he's going to play it in the corner so that he can lay up for the pink 4, which is next. 5 in the middle of the table, and the 7 on the lower left for those of you that may find it difficult to discern between the orange and the light brown, milk chocolate brown 7 on certain monitors or screens. Depending on which camera I look at, sometimes they're a little harder to tell. Dean with a look of determination on his face there, and kind of nodding to himself after the fact of, yeah, I hit that too far. I got farther than I wanted to go. He wanted to be probably about 3 balls higher on the table, right about there, so that he could just shoot that 4 in. But he's recovered nicely. He's had to shoot a couple of tougher shots. I didn't want to. Yeah, I figured it wasn't Thursday night. I found it from one of the, you know. All right, Dino's keeping it going. He's kind of fighting the table a little bit, battling uphill, as it were. But he's still fighting and he's still making balls, so he's still at the table. And I think he can put a nice little draw stroke on this and come out pretty clean, or he can go down table and just roll it. He's elected to roll it. A little bit fuller than it appeared on the camera. But I think it's really important that he closes here and finishes this out, which he's certainly capable of doing. You know, you kind of want to make a statement and, you know, play this whole rack and say, hey, I can break a ball in and run a rack out on my own accord, on my own skill and ability. Kind of proving it to yourself as well as your opponent. I'm not sure if he was trying to cheat that pocket to kill the cue ball there, but I would suggest that he might have been. That's why the 8 might have been a little bouncy and bumbly, stumbly into the pocket there. 3-7. Dean with a statement game there. And that 9 ball is not too dissimilar to a couple that he missed. So, no flashbacks for Dean in that game to end that game. So good for Dean to reestablish himself and set the tone, clean up a few mental errors or physical twitches and glitches. Let's see if he can get a nice break like he did last time with an open shot on the 1 to control the table and potentially run out. Get his mojo working again and back on the mission of getting to 17 games. Looks like Dean's been doing the cut break the last couple times from the side there. It's been working for him. I mean, you almost feel like this template rack is going to make a ball for you borderline automatically. So it appears that he might be working the 1 ball back into the kitchen area in attempt to control the 1 and pace the 1 into a shot off of the break. This cue ball's been a little random, I think, but I think that's what he's trying to do. I think most of the matches, Dean's just been kind of going with a power break. And I think Nick has been doing the same, just kind of a power break for the most part. Very different than their counterpart who's waiting for them in the finals, Craig Hurlburt, who definitely has a softer break, a more controlled break.
And banks everything in.
Yeah, he just kind of squats the cue ball for the most part. That's what he's trying to do. And, he's been banking quite a lot of balls, as Dave just indicated. So he's never met a bank he didn't like.
Good shot by Dino there.
Yeah, and good discipline, too, for Dino to shoot that the way that he did. We just watched him fire a bank 2 or 3 games ago or less. And, he certainly, or a combo, my mistake, on the 6 ball. And he certainly had an opportunity to play a combo there on the 7, which was ill-advised, but good discipline for him to recognize now is not the time to fire away. Now's the time to lock him up and play a safe and live to fight another day. I think maintaining control of the table is a really big deal for Dean in the next couple games. Not just, running the table, but dictating play, limiting the opportunities that Nick has to shoot from. Well, he called the other corner, but he did make a clean hit. I think he was trying to go 2 rails and then hit the 2, and he just ended up hitting it on the first rail there. And I like his call there for the top corner because you don't want to try to hit this pure 1 rail because the 7's so close. No, he did hit that 2 rails and then hit the 2 ball. My mistake. But I like that call, and I think he was favored to hit that ball for sure, but not favored to know where the ball was going to end up. Well, Dean might have just played a breakout on the 5 there, because that didn't appear to go by. Intentional or not, it might end up better off for Dean if he makes this 3 ball, that is. If he doesn't, then it's better off for Nick. That's the funny thing about rotation games is you're both shooting at the same target, so you can't really develop your ball for later because they're not your ball, they're his ball. They're both, there's no such thing as your ball or his ball, like there is an 8 ball. All right, Dean's partially and mostly tree-topped here. Played a great shot. Got a little more top on it than he wanted. Got a little more oomph. But there is something to be said for spearing it in like that because it keeps the stroke pure and straight instead of trying to just lag it and sometimes your stroke gets a little hitchy, or you get some table spin or table grab, and it's hard to be as accurate. So it's understandable. I might play the 8-ball here. I mean, I don't see the safety, and the back cut might be on, or it might be a little too extreme. I'm not sure. He must like the cut. He's not in love with it, but he's chosen to do it. If he cuts it that thin, I don't think he's going to hit anything. No, I think he's just going to go around the table and maybe end up around the 7-ball. Yeah, he's kind of smiling there. It's, what else can you do? You know, just kind of smile and laugh it off and walk it off and wait for your next opportunity. Yeah, I don't know if he really had any other options other than offense there, Dave. What did you see?
No, he couldn't do much.
Yeah. Well, Nick's back in action here. Now, keep in mind, for those of you following at home that may not have seen our other tournaments, the 5-9 combination does not win the game. This is no early 9 balls. It is a legal shot that he's calling, and he does get to shoot again, but the 9-ball does spot up, and he continues to play.
Is he hooked on that 5? No, it's too deep, right?
Yeah, he should be.
Oh no,
That's tight.
Yeah, it'll go, right?
Yeah, that should go. I think if he fires it, it won't though.
Gosh,
that's not guaranteed. I wouldn't say. He's definitely well informed to take an extra few moments to take a look at it. That is not a gimme. From our perspective, and we know how tight these pockets play, that is not a guaranteed pocket for sure. The 8 is not. No, the 8 is maybe froze to the rail, and it's definitely froze to the 5. So yeah, you might have to play it off the 8. Would you even consider kicking this ball?
What about calling the 8? I don't know.
Oh yeah, just rubbing across and spinning the 8 in. Would you consider kicking this ball, or is that going to give you a double kiss and you're not going to make it anyway? Because at least you're coming from the other way.
Yeah, it looks like it goes, but
yeah,
I think he's going to shoot it with like maybe a push or a double.
Yeah, I mean the 7's right there, but if the 8 jumps in front like that, then you're going to wish you didn't. Yeah. I think he thought he was hitting that ball cleanly without the 8.
Yeah, like it didn't seem like the 8 is in play, but he had to shoot it kind of straight to make it.
So. Yeah, and he was kind of stretched out there. I think he was trying to just slow roll it.
So
caught it. Now he's kicking. Would you kick 2 rails and call it in the top corner? So 2 kick, and no, he's calling it thin.
Yeah, I call 1 rail. 1 rail, but that way if you miss it on the way in, you might hit it on the way out.
That's true. That's true.
Give it enough pace to where you get a legal hit.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in a tough spot.
Yeah, I might kick and try to call it in the top corner right there, but yeah, he hit it too soft and too short.
So Nick gives Dino ball in hand.
Dino's got to love this. He's like, hey, I get a 3-ball out for a change. But he's not taking this 8-ball hanger for granted, and I like that. Yep. I like that he's not jumping the gun. And
I think I would like to be frozen to the side rail.
Yeah. Just get that angle to come out, play the 9 in the same pocket.
Play 2 rails and shoot the 9 in the same pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty predictable path.
Yeah.
I don't even think I need to draw this closer to the 8. I just want to be on that.
Just have the angle, yeah. Well, Dean's recalling a shot earlier, perhaps, that he drew into the point and ended up hooking himself on the 6-ball.
Sure.
In a few games ago, but he's not going to tempt fate this time.
Yep, he's straight enough, it looks like.
Yeah. I mean, does Dean just go power draw here or power top? I should hope that he doesn't do either one of those options. There you go. Nice and smooth. That's the smart shot. That's the right shot. I think you were looking at the 2-rail option with a bigger angle, and he didn't have that bigger angle, and so he just went with the 1-rail option and went right by the 9-ball, which is a good shot. Good choice, good position. There you go, Dino. He's back in action. Feeling no pain from his earlier errors. A little forgiveness there from a few missed opportunities that Nick didn't close on. And as soon as he flips his red scorecard, it will be 4-7. You see that, Dave? We proved to the folks at home that we can get the score right before the scorecard is flipped and not after.
Dean's trying to battle back in. We got someone in the chat cheering for Dean. Don't tell Dean this ain't over.
Yeah.
And then someone said, tell Nick to keep doing. He's doing a good job. Keep it rolling.
Yeah. Josh Prestigard said, someone tell Dean and tell him there's a lot of game left. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Craig mentioned that's definitely uncharacteristic for Dean. He was referring to earlier in the match when things were not going his way, and he was missing some 9s and struggling with some scratches. So he's appeared to have put that behind him. And moved on to brighter future opportunities. Just barely missed the scratch there on that break. He's fortunate to have a shot at the 2 and not be sitting back down on his chair there. Looks like he drew it right off the 1. Yeah, he went for that cut break and drew it straight into the side damn near. It just caught the point there and stayed on. All right, Dino.
He's keeping this close.
Yeah.
Maybe he can play a good safe here and get control of this game. And
yeah, I don't know. He's calling the corner here. I feel like he's going to go right by the 7 or maybe hit the 7 and line up for the 4 pink there. That's his next shot. Made the 1 and the 3 on the break. Yep.
Nice shot.
Yep, I saw that one clearly there. Fortunate to make the 7. Doesn't hurt him, doesn't help him. But certainly one less ball on the table to have to play shape for. It's not a pivotal ball to get to a problem area, so probably a bonus that he made it. Got a little too close to his work on the 5 ball, but you see him hanging his head there and kind of stumbling, shuffling his feet towards the shot.
He could just stop shot right there.
With a little bit of dejection there because he didn't get the position and the speed that he wanted. But I mean, in all seriousness, he just banks this 1 ball into the open table and he's got a really good save.
Right?
No need to be discouraged, Dino. You're still in the driver's seat here. You're still in control of the table. You know, I definitely know the feeling of feeling like you had an easy shape that you let get away from you, but you know, he can still dictate the terms of the table here.
He drew it back a little bit on accident.
Yeah. Kind of poked it. Jabbed at it, didn't want to foul.
Yeah, it looks like Nick's got it clean, huh?
Yeah, he probably does. I would have almost hit that with like a little bit of just slightly above center and rubbed into the 6. But easy to say in hindsight, right? I could be mistaken, but do you think Nick has slightly slowed down and also just kind of evened out his pace a little bit? It's a little more steady, a little more rhythmic, if you will, not as choppy. It's very balanced, kind of on rhythm, on cadence, kind of determination and seems to be settling into the match, is I guess what I'm saying in a roundabout way. Slips ahead with capitalizing on another unforced error from Dean, and 4-8. Dean's taking a break or getting a soda or something. Maybe not a full break, just a refreshment lap around. We have a cooler on the left side off screen for those of you who have not been to the Slate Billiards Club in St. Paul. There's a cooler and a snack bar to the left, and perhaps Dean's wetting his whistle and getting a candy bar or some Cheez-Its or something.
Yep.
There's no full service here at Slate. It's all honor system and serve yourself. Just some refreshment offerings, and better to keep the pool tables clean if you don't offer hot wings, huh, Dave?
Yep.
No pizzas, no greasy
A
pizza.
little easier to keep the tables clean. Yep.
Yeah. No buffalo wings or buffalo sauce here. Yeah. Oh, he got a bad luck kiss. He had the cue ball dead stop too in the center of the table and just got kicked in. Yeah, he really did have a good break there. I mean, he'd have been sitting on the one ball with a shot, but woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? Dean's happy to have ball in hand, and looks like he can just cinch it back for the 3. He's on the wrong side of it to get to the 4, and he's despondent about that, perhaps, as his facial expressions and body language would indicate, but I think he's still in play here to play a safe. I know he wants to go aggressive and put it into turbo overdrive, as he is wont to do. His shooting style and his personality definitely go towards that side of the spectrum, but I don't think he should be too disappointed if he can play a lockup safe, but he's going for the bank. True to form, Dean LANTHRIP goes offense and banks it in. It's lined up on the 4. Let's see if he can just smooth this into the line of the 5 here. Oh, that was a nice little bump. That might have saved him there. It's so hard to play a touch shot or a soft shot on these tables with the rails bouncy as they are. Cinched it in there. It's looking good. He's a little long on this ball, but he would have probably preferred a little bit of draw. Just a little floater.
He's got some touch tonight.
Yeah, that's good to see. I think he might just stun this ball over a little bit, or do you think he might just roll it in and accept the tougher cut on the 8? I kind of like to stun this ball back personally, but we'll see how he lines up. Fooled us all. He goes all the way around the table.
Back to almost the middle.
Yeah, maybe he's got better plans than we had for him there. It's hard to see if that angle maybe was a little too thin to roll it in. Felt like he had to travel to come back into line. There you go. Nice speed, Dino. Nice shot. Confident stroke. Perfect shape on the 9. There he is. I feel like Dean's been playing some like recovery pool and recovery shots and kind of fighting the table, and kind of never really got too comfortable and always trying to like come with a shot. And even the games that he's won, did you mark his game?
No. Thank you, Sam.
5-8.
Sam's always keeping me on it.
There we go. But, even like I said, with the games that he's won,
We're still ahead of the scorecard. Okay.
yeah,
The
still ahead of the scorecard. There we go.
you're right. He hasn't really got rolling yet.
So, I feel like even though the score is 4-8, like, Nick's kind of settled in and kind of shown what he can do and managed his game and managed his shooting and his offense and defense. And Dean's yet to really fully get into the gears that he's capable of. And I think that this might be a pivotal moment in the match where if he can get some good breaks or some good shots to open with, I think he could really reestablish himself in this match, not only mentally and physically, but on the score sheet as well. And that puts Nick in the reaction, defensive mode of having to deal with what Dean dictates.
This does look runnable, doesn't it? I mean, getting on the 2 is obviously.
Yeah, the first shot is the key for sure. I like going all the way down and all the way back up again here.
Sure, just to make the shot easier.
Yeah. And just because if you get anywhere in the middle of the table, you don't really need a great angle on the 2 to get to the 3. Even if you're thin, you can go back and forth. And, as long as you avoid the 5, you're still going to get a decent shot on the 3. I feel like he tried to hold it there.
Me too.
You just really can't hold it with a thin shot and these rails as fast as they are.
So maybe does he go for the 2 here all the way up?
I still think he goes for the 2. I mean, it's really not such a bad shot. The reward is there. It's a challenging shot. Dean's never been afraid of a shot that he, has been challenged with. I think he's going to miss the scratch here, but he's just got to miss the 5.
Just
got
her
it
in there.
Yeah, he definitely was clear.
So
clear of the 5.
I don't know that he can go around the 7. Yeah, he thinks he can, so that'd be great.
Yeah, he's got maybe a little top spin here. Might get him around it. Yeah, that 2 ball definitely didn't have any extra room. That just wiped its feet on the welcome mat before it walked in, you might say. Looks like Dean's doing something inside English there.
Shot.
Yeah, I thought he was going inside English there.
Dropped down and shot it like a boss.
Yeah, he's a one-stroker sometimes. He'll just stymie the commentators here before we get a react to what his approach or tactics are. I think this might be kind of like his last shot. He's got to go down and around. Yeah. He went down and back out again. He got straight. You can tell by the hand wipe across his forehead that he got straight. I did see that. This is exactly, if I'm not mistaken, the shot that Nick LAHR had earlier when he tried to really pump the power draw and skipped right over it into the pocket. So Dean didn't have to get the power stroke and the amount of draw that Nick needed in his situation because he's down to the last 2 balls and they're open. And it looks like he's drifting into the 9 a little bit here potentially. Is that the way you're seeing that, Dave?
Yeah.
Is he going to draw away from it or is he going to bump it?
Well, he thought he would maybe tick it a little there.
Yeah. And I think that depends on if you cheat the pocket to the left or the right on that 8 ball. And I think he might have just cut the 8 a little extra, and that way he just ended up a little...
So he's calling the bank.
A little past the 9 instead of bumping it towards the same pocket he made the 8 in. Well, he's on the rail, so, I mean, he's almost got to shoot this with center top. Does that put a little bit of a double kiss into play here, or no, Dave? No. No, he didn't. He put it about a ball and a half wide there. And once again, Nick has come to the table. A little bit of a shot he has to make, but again, he's just shooting the 9. He doesn't have a scratch. He can just stroke out with a draw shot and make the 9 and get another quick game. He rolls it in instead. Either way, 9-5. Without any references to 80s Dolly Parton songs or movies. 9-5. Nick LAHR's been ahead basically the entire match. Will that hold? Stay tuned to the Slate Billiards Club live stream on the Slate Billiards Club YouTube channel that you are probably watching now, live or after the fact. Be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and share the link and share the stream on the various socials, Facebook or what have you. Continue to support the channel and the club. If you enjoy the content and the matches that you are watching now. What a great break. He made 3 balls and he's got a shot at the one. A viable shot at the one, not just, super tough ball that you can make. He's got a viable shot at the one, and the 2 is right there. He just needs to make sure that he has an angle on the 2 to travel back up basically in the line of where the 2 and the 1 is now for the 5. Oh, just hung it up. I wonder with that slow roll and the top spin that didn't just push a little bit ahead towards the rail there. Or if he just misaligned aiming it a little bit thick. But that does have a tendency to do that on that shot at that angle. So Dino's got himself a little angle here on the 3. I think he might have, or the 2 rather. He wanted more angle to be able to get back for that 5 on the top rail on the first diamond there. So, I feel like a broken record when I say playing shape off of hangers is, kind of like a hidden landmine there, Ended up with a bad angle on the 2 to travel to the 5 and forced it and rattled the 2. So Nick, having missed the 1 ball and left it hanging in the pocket, feels no pain or no shame, and he's right back to the 2 ball and ready to run out again. So that's really unfortunate for Dean there. Missed opportunity to capitalize on an error for Nick. And Nick appears to walk away unscathed and right back into his run.
Looks like Derek's getting here to practice.
Yeah. He was here last night. We got to practice with him. Me and Angela rotated in and played some games. Played a few racks. Yeah. One of our regulars here at Slate Billiards Club. Always playing some drills, always shooting some games. I'm not here every day, but I would suspect Derek's got to be here 4 days a week, wouldn't you say, if not more?
Yep, whenever he's not playing in tournaments and stuff.
Yep. Just off camera there, practicing.
See his Nike shoes.
Yeah. Nick might have overcooked that 6 ball there.
Does it look like Dean can bank this, or is he just going to thin it in the side? Ooh, it's tough. I think I'm a banker here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I like that cut. Yeah, Nick looks like he just overcut it there. He didn't do anything wonky with his stroke or his body or anything.
Nope, looked smooth.
Just overcooked it with the inside top maybe, and Dean's not looking at a great shot, but he does have a shot, and I think the bank is on. Banks are open on Sunday. Who knew? They are for Dean anyway. He's got a big draw shot. He's got a pull back here. He's got a bit of a reach. I think if he had an extension, he would want to use it here. And I mean a physical extension on the end of his cue. I don't think he's going to enjoy the bridge, but I feel like this is an error waiting to happen if he doesn't use the bridge. Because even if he doesn't get that much draw at all, he's still going to want to shoot the 9 rather than make some type of error in queuing and end up with a weird shot. Here we go. He's got
Look
the
at
right
that
tool for the
bridge. Oh
job.
my gosh.
He borrowed that from Denise. I'll put money
Scared
on
of
that.
that.
That's Denise's bridge.
Is that regulation?
Yeah, yeah. Well, he did get more of the rail than he might have wanted there, and ended up kind of in
Well,
the 50-yard
considering
line.
this is bar table 9 ball, Dean is staying in this match because he's still in striking distance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he is on the 50-yard line, like Sam said, but if he can put this down and break and run one, man, he can.
That's a huge,
Right
huge
back
shot
in this.
for his confidence. He winged it.
Yep.
See him wing out with his elbow
Yep.
there?
Tried to steer it just a little bit.
Yeah. You know, he did the work. He looked on the,
He did a lot of good stuff, yeah.
he looked on the shot line there and just got a little itchy in his stroke there. I'm not sure if he winged it while he was shooting it or after he shot it, but I did notice that. 10-5. Nick's still cruising through.
Fun fact of the day, Nick eats blue cheese with a spoon. That's what Michelle Bauer?
Well, I guess she would know. Who knows if she's right or not?
She's got the Michael Jordan insignia for her picture. And they're saying Dean played on the Valleys for the 2 days might be a factor because he was up at the Turtle Lake Casino.
Turtle Lake, yeah, that's Dean Wrestler's Dr. Pool event there.
So that's where Dean was playing on a little different equipment is what they're saying than we're playing on today.
Yeah. Joshua Melton says this Nick guy is a special pool player, and I think that's Michael Bauer saying that the fun fact of the day is Nick eats blue cheese rather
Mike,
than
if
Michelle.
it is Michael, then I hope you're not the one feeding him with the spoon.
Yeah, that could be weird.
It could get weird. Okay, so he's breaking from the other side now, no?
Oh yeah, he might have switched. Up. His break is working for him, and he's kind of got a little fortunate that he came away with a shot on the 1 there, but he's putting power into the break and he's getting a result. So, as long as he keeps scratching and clawing these games out, Dean's gonna, have to do double time to catch up, which hasn't happened thus far. So Dean's really got to capitalize on some errors that Nick makes if he continues to make errors, that is. And he's really got to take the break and get some fortuitous rolls on the break to shoot the 1 or to not scratch. Otherwise, Nick's going to take it to him.
Nick wanted to clear that too and kind of get him end zone to end zone there, but he still left him.
Yeah, he still left him tough. I mean, I think he's got to hide him behind the 3. I don't think he's going to want to hide him underneath the 6. I think that's maybe a little extra, but I mean, that's certainly a possibility. I would think the 3 would be much simpler and much easier to lock in.
Michael says he's definitely not helping Nick eat.
Hey, I mean, he brought it up.
I mean, I'm just saying, you brought it up. It was a fun fact.
Yes.
Until it got weird.
Yeah. Yeah. He went for the 3 there and got too far.
He left him a bank. I think he can cut it thin too, maybe, but
yeah. I think the bank is a good shot because the 6 will probably cover if he doesn't make it. But if he just outright misses it, then the 6 won't cover.
So he just went for straight safe.
Yeah,
I don't mind
smart
that.
shot.
Good
That's a smart shot.
Good
He
shot,
put it at
Nick.
good speed too. He put it at a good speed. I mean, I hate to say it, but that shot right there proves to me that Dean might be in some trouble.
Yeah.
More than just the 10-5. Because Nick's patient.
Nick is
it's
still
willing to grind the games out.
He's patient, definitely.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna try and suffocate Dean with minimizing his opportunities at the table and minimizing.
Yeah, because he could have been a shooter there.
Yep, and minimizing his errors.
Yeah.
Yep, and minimizing his errors and and risk averse and just protecting the lead.
So Dean got the hit,
And he got a roll.
He got a roll. Sometimes when you hit them good, the pool gods reward you.
Yeah.
Now, Nick can kick this between the rail and the 6 and leave the cue ball right there. Kick and stick.
Kick and stick on the 1.
Yep.
Would you want to hit this with center ball or below center ball or above center ball?
I'm rolling ball, and because I don't think you can give it the draw. You're too far off the rail.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to just try to roll and be cute. He's waving it off, but he's kicking it towards that corner.
Yep. I think he's okay to not scratch here. He should be, even if he doesn't hit exactly the way he wants, I think he's still going to be good. Oh, it hit the nipple. How unlucky
came out tight, yeah.
How unlucky do you got to be? Do you think he just hit that too hard, or do you think that was just unlucky to catch the point?
I think
there?
he hit it that hard because he thought the 1 would go the 3 rails towards the side, like you said earlier. And
yeah.
So Dino's thinking if he can really thin this.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Or just bank it out of there and leave him right there.
I honestly think Nick was playing a really smart shot there, and it just kind of backfired on him.
Yeah, because he got in deep into that corner.
Yeah, he really did. Yeah.
Yeah, if he doesn't quite hit that tit, then good shot, Dino. Get it out of the game. Oh wow, that's tough action.
Yeah, you got to maybe just be a little tighter with the cue ball there, forward.
Yeah, maybe like stun it forward with it.
Yeah. And then you don't really care. A lot of times.
But hey, we never miss a safety from here.
But I mean, a lot of times if you only have to control one ball, the
Yeah.
safety is just so much easier to lock up. And I feel like if you control the cue ball there, you don't really care.
You don't have to care about the one. You're right.
Yep.
Focus on one of them. Both matter. But
once again, Nick is back at the table with no worse for wear of his previous unfortunate roll.
he waved to Dean there because he got a roll.
Yeah, he got lucky on a safety there.
Dean might jump this in. He's got a little bit of a landing.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like the kick here.
Yep, he
and I
does
think
too.
that if you make this, you don't get a shot at the 2. He's got to go 2 rails, catch the rail right before, a couple inches before the 1.
Under the
and
7.
slide under the 7.
Oh, good. Or you just...
Because like I said, if you hit it too good, he might have actually got a shot at the 2 ball.
Can you cross bank it, or can you just roll it right in?
I like the cross. I like the cross because it goes into the 3 and it's a 2-way. I think there's a 2-way possibility. He's got the 4 as a buffer. It's almost like, bowling with those little things on the side when you're a kid. I think he's got a funnel there with the 4 ball. I really like the bank here, and I think it goes forward into the 3 as well.
Shot.
Yep.
The 3.
I think there's nothing but good times on that shot.
So now the 4 ball's in the bad spot. So he's got to get out.
He would have preferred to rub the 4 on the way in there for sure.
Sure.
But I mean, that's a great shot. Sometimes
Still
you just can't
shot.
get everything to go your way in 4 different variables on one shot. And there was a lot of them there, but I feel like they were all going to work out. Nice shot on the 3. He came down for the 4. He's got to really play the point here. I don't like making this ball. What do you think, Dave? I like banking this into oblivion. I like banking this into oblivion better than I like cutting this ball in. We could be seeing it wrong, but it looks to me like
It's tough action.
he can't cut it where he needs
He's
to.
going to try a 2 railer.
Yeah.
1 pocket shot. Comes up a lot.
Yeah, you 1 pocket guys love these 2 rail banks.
This
These
one's
short-
laying pretty good too, with a little bit of draw.
Okay.
Almost straight into the rail. Or, almost perfectly straight.
Straight in line with where the cue ball is. Yeah, he tried it.
Look at this kid.
Come on, 9 ball. Nope. He left him.
Left him a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think this is the time of the match where we let our viewers know that Dave and myself are always rooting for Hill.
Yeah, Hill.
We just want to set the stage and precedent early.
Hill.
Hill.
For the people.
For the people watching at home, maximum viewing, maximum games available. We say that every match.
I think I can put the commentator thing. Yeah.
Oh, we got a little window.
We can kind of go like that.
Yeah.
I got my nice shirt on. No.
I have a pool shirt on. I think this one's a on the rail apparel.
On the rail.
Rhonda Royal used to work there. She now works for Big Ol' Box. But if anybody travels to tournaments around the country, you will see the curly-haired redhead Rhonda Royal.
So he didn't have all of this, otherwise he would have made it. I think he tried to just bank it to the middle and then kind of leave
double
him
kissed.
under, but it double kissed. So now Dean's going to leave him under the 7.
Too much juice.
Wow, and he left it a hanger there.
Yeah, just a little too much juice on that bank. Spun past the 7, but.
So blue cheese guy. Hi, Sam and Dave. Off the rail, Sammy. Off the rail.
Yeah, that's right.
So Nick,
it's off the rail, not on the rail. Correct.
Oh yeah,
I wasn't looking.
Sorry, yeah. I didn't correct you either. So Nick is going to have to come off the rail.
Yeah, he's going to have to juice it here.
He spun it in.
Going to end up behind the 9. Nope, got away with it.
Okay, so he can come 2 rails out of the upper left corner.
He made a nice shot there. He got a little bit of a roll, and when you hit a ball good, sometimes you get a roll. All right. Is he going to go top here in 3 rails? No, he drew it back into the side. Yeah, what do you think there, Dave? Do you like going top side?
Yeah,
there?
I'm top 2 rails into the. I'm like, boom.
Yeah,
boom.
I like top there.
And I'm even trying to come off of this rail for breaks so that I can dribble out or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good line there, Dave. I agree. You got to go with your instincts, and you got to go with your strengths. And if Nick felt like his draw stroke with his strength, then I can understand that. But Dean got a get out of jail free pass from Nick LAHR for once. Usually in this match, it's gone the other way with Dean giving free chances to Nick. So he's got one back anyway.
Dean got it to within 4 now. So
yeah, he's hanging around 6-10 on our score sheet.
Looks like we are on a player break. We will be right back.
Demetrius Gelatis here with Minnesota Pool Boot Camp. We live in an age with abundant information about pool, but without organization and direction, it doesn't translate into bottom line results. I've been coaching full-time for over 6 years, and I've guided more than 200 students step by step to higher levels of pool. Now I've partnered with Slate Billiard Club to provide online group coaching and make our training available to players everywhere. No travel necessary. Join us online for just $19.95 a month. You'll get access to my Minnesota Pool Boot Camp playbook, covering cue ball, pattern play, mental game, and the common leaks that people have in applying this to get their game to the next level. The best part is I'll be there working with you every step of the way to give you the direction you need to see results right away.
So the bracket right here, I don't have the updated one loaded. Sorry, I worked this morning, but
this is where it all and how it all began, right?
So these are all the people that joined
Field of 32 whittled down to a field of 3.
Brandon, Nick came from here, so Nick had to go through Brandon, Charlie Garza, Ronald McDermott, and Dean he had to go through
Frank Balazzi,
Keith Shorts, Frank Balazzi, Keith Schultz,
Stoltz, and Kyle Anderson and Frank Balazzi.
On the other side, I'm just making sure they're not starting here. Let me make sure they're not back. Yeah, okay.
Craig Hurlbert had to go through his daughter.
Craig had to beat
as Vladimir.
daughter. And Craig Kindra, she had to beat Shane Boya and Gary Nudereicher. And then she ended up losing to her dad. So Craig is in the finals. He beat Vladimir.
He beat Mech and he beat Kevin Huss.
Yeah, Mac. He beat Mac down at Shooters. Mac didn't come up here. So yeah, we're in the finals now.
Semifinals here. Finals next match. Yep.
Winner gets to play Craig.
And that will be the finals. So yeah, this is our last match of the weekend and the last match to get into the finals. A little extended shot, just barely showing Derek working on his fundamentals and some drills there.
Got
LANTHRIP over there talking to Rob.
Got Chicago Rob practicing the thinnest cut shots you ever seen in your life.
Yeah, looks like got a few players.
Yeah, it's quiet. Yeah, it's quiet day to day. It's kind of nice. I like playing when it's quiet.
Sunday fun day.
The two top players on the state are still back here grinding it out.
Yeah, we're not showing that camera.
We're not turning that camera on.
Garrett's doing some bar table. Usually see him on the big table.
Yeah.
It's like Garrett's doing.
Yeah, Garrett's doing a little of that.
Yeah, he was here the other day playing a lot of 9-foot L drills and different things he was doing, playing some straight pull against the Ghost. Garrett's always representing here in Slate Billiards Club, practicing a fair amount. Whereas I come in here 3 times a month with my cues and 10 times a month without them.
I seen you giving some lessons in here.
I was. I had Angela taking some instruction.
Derek's always listening and willing to.
Yeah. I started with Derek training at my house, as a matter of fact. I have 2 pool tables at my house. And I think I started with Derek like a year or 2 ago. Well, I started before Slate was even open. But, just, kind of once every 6 months, kind of whenever. Nothing too intense, but Derek's always trying to work on his game and get ready for a tournament down at Twin City Billiards, where he plays a bit of tournaments from time to time. Dean's lamenting his opportunities lost and some unforced errors. Stretching out the hammy. Don't want to pull a hammy here at Slate Billiards Club. We don't have the liability insurance.
Yeah.
I mean, just think we don't want to ruin Dean Lanthrip's Heisman Trophy, aspirations for being
So Dean is down 10-6. And he won the last game, right? Who won the last game? Did I mark the score? I must have marked the score. Who's breaking? It's been so long. We're going to lose all of our fans.
Yeah. No. That's a lull in the action here. That's 10-6.
Yep. We can watch Derek, see if he's going to make that shot. Come on, Derek. You can do it.
Is he practicing his draw? Look at that. Roll table draw right back to the middle diamond. All right, we don't want to tell our secrets outside of school here.
Chicago Rob's about to. Ooh, did you see that thin cut? Ooh, that was pretty thin.
Yeah.
Well,
He tries to get on the one pocket table now and then.
yep.
Practice a bit.
Your girlfriend is listening to you now, Sam.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Anything's possible. Cats and dogs getting along. I mean,
Like
up is
she listened to
down,
you
down
for
is up. Water's not wet. The sky's not blue.
All right. So Dean must have won the last game. It is now 10-6. Nick got a water. He's ready to go.
Yeah, Dean had a text that he sent, or a Facebook message that he sent, and he says, I won't be able to bring these two fine ladies with me to the match. And he had two tall boy silver bullet Coors Light cans.
No Coors Light for Dino.
He's always cutting up.
If he doesn't win tonight, it's because we are a alcohol-free club.
Yes.
He's got the double zero Heinekens on the shelf though for us.
Yeah. Yeah. This is definitely a non-alcohol, non-bar establishment, although there is a wonderful brew pub, Black Stack Brewing, next door.
So that time the cut break didn't make the wing ball for him. Oh yeah, don't give the secrets. Derek's practicing his draw shot.
Yeah. Definitely.
So that was a dry break. Nick's coming to the table up 10-6.
Yeah, if anybody's interested in training or joining as a member here on site at the Slate Billiards Club or on the Patreon online with Demetrius
We
Delatus.
got the best coach.
Sounds like Jonathan might be interested in some lessons. I'm not sure which type he's preferring, if it's online or in person.
Yep, Jonathan's a friend of Dean's from Cheeseland over there.
Oh. Well, Dean gives racking lessons if you want to rack for him,
Okay.
Jonathan. If you're willing to play for some Coors Lights, sure he'll oblige you.
That one rolled a little strong for him.
Yeah, back to the match here.
He can tick this, I think, right? Does it
Yeah,
look like he can
might have a sliver of it, but
get
it
him
might
down
lead him
behind
to
the 9 or something?
I don't know if that'll lead him to a scratch or if he can get by it or not. We will soon see.
We're about to find out.
Yeah, 10-6 here. If Dean can claw back into these next one or two games, not just to establish his own score, but just to slow down the scoring of Nick. I mean, he's in double digits now, and he's within, I wouldn't say arm's reach, but close enough reach of the end of this match that you don't want him getting too many more games. Not a matter of being ahead, but just getting closer to 17, inching his way there game by game, one at a time. All right, let's see what Dean has to answer here. Nick went top side there to the top rail and kicked a nice thin shot.
Got rewarded and
Yeah.
left Dean kind of distance, and I don't know. Dean might be able to make this.
Yeah, it's hard to see if you don't have the overhead cam here to see if he can make this or not. Nope. He got lucky.
He had enough of it.
Well, he might not have got that lucky. It looks like he did lead
Yeah.
enough to make the ball.
But this is a tester, but Nick's a little more warmed up now, so Nick might shoot this in.
Yeah, it looks like he can go bottom rail, side rail in between the 8 and the 4. Come out in the middle of the table with some outside English here. It should be left in this case. Yeah,
Just went straight safe,
playing safe, playing smart.
but he might have left the window. Let's look.
I think he's got a jump shot for sure.
Yeah, he doesn't have a clean hit. Dean's going to get the little stick.
Yeah. Seems like Nick is becoming more risk averse and playing, a lot more high percentage, kind of forcing the issue on you, putting the pressure on you, letting you take the risks, letting you, when I say you, the opponent,
Yep.
and just kind of ducking and protecting his lead, and seems to be working for him thus far. A little more tactical approach than a shootout approach, which is definitely Dean's more personality and more skill set is shot making and firepower. Nick's kind of going with the sit on the lead and suffocate and just grind out some games, which could prove successful here. It's been successful so far. Got a little close to the 5, but he should be clear here to shoot the 4, and makes the 5 here. It should be on his way to another rack. What do you like here, Dave? He's a little straight here, really close to the rail. Do you just do that stun run through that you were talking about, Dean Lanthrip's specialty shot here?
Well, if I was Neil's fine, I would do the stun run through and shoot the 7 in the side. But instead, I think I would roll this forward and shoot it in the corner.
Yeah. Trail the cue ball ahead for the side.
Yeah, maybe if you hit it soft, you get the side, but I'm playing for the corner just like that.
Yeah.
So he was worried a little
playing
too
for the
much on the
corner,
shape, and he just dropped his chalk in the table.
Down the hole, yeah.
Do I give him a different one? What does he play with? V10 maybe?
I don't know. I didn't see. He definitely dropped the chalk down the hole.
Actually, I don't even have my pool cues with me.
Was that Dean's chalk too, or
I don't know.
Were they both using master chalk?
No, Dean uses master. I think he used, it looked like V10, but
yeah. Did you catch that? I just didn't see it on the replay fast enough. Yeah, those are about $20 retail.
Yeah.
I know Angela's lost a couple of them, and I charged her full price. Then she found them again, so she has 3.
But yeah, eventually I got to glue the rubbers back into the side pocket catch. They fall out of these tables.
Yeah.
I have some, there's one right there.
Yeah.
And they fall out of the side, so I'll grab everybody's chalk, because I even have a tome in this table.
Yeah.
Dean almost grabbed the ball there because he thought he was going to scratch. He's got a tough 9 ball here.
Yeah, he's on the 50-yard line again.
He has put one of these down, and he hasn't been within 3 in a little bit here, so could get it within 3 and then maybe get a good break. I keep saying it, man. These guys can run racks.
You're just not seeing it.
Yeah, we only had one yesterday. That's awesome shot.
Got it.
Good shot, Dino.
And what's funny is that people that watch his fundamentals or his body alignment or body English or whatever, he shoots all these shots the same, whether he makes them or not.
Yep.
So, there's something to be said for
consistency. Yes.
4 lefts do eventually make a right. He shoots all the shots the same. So you can say his fundamentals causes him to miss a few, but you can also say that his consistency in shooting the way he shoots and always doing it that way, also pockets some balls too. So we'll see if we can pull a chalk out here. Dave with some technical table mechanic support here. I think Nick LAHR might have lost his town chalk in the top left pocket. He dropped it down here. They're looking for a flashlight here to look through the bottom, see if they can either poke it through or pull it back out with maybe a jump cue or a bridge handle of some sort here. I will say full service here at Slate Billiards Club. Dave getting into the grease, rolling his sleeves up here and helping out a player in distress that's dropped his town V10 green $20 chalk in the pocket. You know, and the thing is they're round, as some of you may know, so they're slippery in the hands without any sharp edges to kind of secure them in your fingers as you're probably brushing them against your tip or looking away at the table and not really watching your chalking motion, and stumble them right into the pocket, and then they roll. So if they hit the table or if they hit the carpet, they roll, as round things are wont to do. And they could definitely get away from you and find a pocket or find their way into any sorts of curious predicaments. I'm not sure if we're seeing the pocket. Or seeing the chalk, or if they're just fishing for it or not. I'm not sure. But anyway, not spellbinding viewing or spellbinding commentary by any stretch of the imagination. Must have been successful. Yeah, I like the break cue option there, the jump cue option. They must have gotten it out. I'm guessing they got it out.
Break is averted.
Did you find the chalk?
We got the chalk.
Awesome. It looked like you might have.
It got stuck behind the corner pocket rubber and we poked it out, so we got it.
Nice, nice. Like I said earlier,
They asked everybody if they had any V10 that he could use till later, but nobody uses that exact chalk, so off we go. Oh,
Well,
I gave him the cue ball. Okay.
yeah, like I said when you were gone, I said, "Boy, you really gotta tip your hat to Slate Billiards Club. White glove service, full service here." Dave rolls up his sleeves and get in the grease to help.
We need the game to go on.
Yeah,
Sam.
that's right. The show must go on. You got.
We just had to break the pitcher's mound real quick.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So Dean rattled the one out of the side pocket, but he did make a different ball. But wouldn't you know, the 7 just
Gonna
had to-
have to play a push. Yeah, we haven't had any really good looks at the 1 in this whole set, really.
very
Like,
few,
couple,
very
but
few
not really,
for
yeah.
Dean especially. Yeah, he just double nippled the side pocket on the 1 ball, which, you know, he'd have a great shot at the 3 or the 2. I'm sorry, and then the 3 had the 1 ball drop, but woulda, coulda, shoulda, and away we go. Yeah. Well,
So
we'll
did
see.
he-
We'll see what he has in store here. For Nick, he just played a rollout or a push out here, and Nick's gonna accept or decline. And looks like he forced Dino to shoot.
Dino didn't mean to hook him. He just wanted.
Yeah,
to leave
he
him
just wanted to
long.
leave him long and straight. Yeah, and so he's like, "Yeah, you go ahead and jump this full table shot." Looks like he kind of just swerved it a little, put a little half masse or masse shot in play there, and made a nice hit. Almost scratched, and did leave Nick an open
There's
shot.
Nick. If you look to the right of your screen, we got the
Yeah, he's got the green
ball.
V10 town there ready to go.
Mm.
I like that chalk myself.
Yep, he can get shape on this too. He's got to do a little bit of move though.
Mm-hmm. I think you go top rail, side rail, and just slide in.
Yeah, just
Yep.
like that. Ooh, needed a little more pepper.
Yep, a little more sauce, a little more speed there. Well, now what do you do? Do you go kick and stick underneath with a lot of
I
right
like
English
that. Yeah, I like that.
and just send the 2 ball to the second diamond and back up table? I'm wondering if anybody in the chat is going to start pontificating and throwing out wild, random guesses at who our unnamed top players are in the back.
They're still grinding it. They're in their 4th set.
Wow, 4 sets.
Yeah, they started at about 2 o'clock.
Yeah, they're getting it in. You know, and I happen to know that the proprietor built a nice viewers rail or railbirds rail along the sides of those tables,
yeah.
and a step stage with 4 or 5 very comfortable recliner chairs for your viewing pleasure should you be a member at Slate and would like to watch those players sparring and shooting and playing top level pool. You can see that in person here at Slate Billiards Club live at your leisure in St. Paul.
Okay, he tucked him in.
Yeah, he did.
Good shot, Nick.
That was a really good shot. He
Nick's
flirted.
playing some smart pool today.
Yeah, he flirted with the scratch, but the way that 4 was sitting and knowing these tight pockets the way they are, it's tough to scratch.
I picture these guys running out more. Nope, JD is down winning the Rochester tournament.
DNR, yep. Is that the one? I think it's DNR.
He will be one of the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, he did not.
didn't quite get the
Did
hit.
not. Well,
Yeah.
let's see what Nick likes here. He's got ball in hand. The 3 to the 4 might be a little narrow, but certainly would think he'd want to be on the left side of the 3. It looks like he's going to be on the right side of the 3 here.
Yeah, I agree. He's going to come off that side rail. Okay.
Yeah, he got shallow there, so that's good. He can definitely get under the 7 here without any.
He does
trouble.
want an angle on this 4 because he kind of wants to shoot the 6 in the same pocket, but I don't know. Maybe he just draws it out of there. Or...
I mean, you can shoot the 6 in the diagonal corner,
Sure.
but I don't think that's.
So he got a little angle.
Do you think he just juices that up and goes bottom side back to the middle again?
I mean, you can draw it back a little bit and shoot it in the side, but I don't know. I think I draw it all the way to the middle of the table.
Yeah, I think he's juicing it. Yeah,
He
that's just like I saw. Yeah, that's the shot.
Middle of the
saw.
table would be great there.
Yeah, and he got there.
He got a decent look.
Yeah. Jonathan says, well, I'm laying here watching the stream, so I know it's not me or it's not myself. So, yeah, I guess you eliminated yourself from being one of the players here at Slate. Well, that one got away from him there. He hit it too full, looks like, with top trying to go 2 rails out by the center of the table again. Again, he hit it. Just looks like he wiggled a little bit there, but that was not an easy shot, in my opinion.
A kick at it.
Oh, he might have caught a roll there. Yeah, he waved it off, acknowledging he got a lucky roll. Nick's back at the same 6 ball. He just missed a moment ago. I like Dean really taking more time in between shots, not only just for his kind of benefit, but also just taking time off the table because Nick's missing a ball and he's 30 seconds later he's shooting the ball again. So Nick not only isn't paying for his mistakes, but he hasn't even gotten the seat warm, and he's back to the table shooting again. So let's see what Dean can come up with here. Does he have to go rail first, or can he go straight at this? Let's see. Straight at it. And again, slop doesn't count. You have to call your shots in this format.
So Nick can give him this shot back if he doesn't want it.
Yeah, Nick has the right of refusal here. If he can give Dean the shot and force Dean to shoot, I'm pretty sure he's going to take his opportunity and try to run out here. I think you draw this ball to pretty close to where the chalk is there in the first diamond, or do you forward roll it without scratching?
I'm a forwarder.
Yeah,
Nice shot.
nice shot.
Yeah, I don't really know this dude, but he's got a really good demeanor. I don't know. I've never crossed paths or had to play him that I remember, but like you said, he's up in this, and he's still just playing smart and steady. And
Yeah, he's showing some mental and emotional discipline for sure.
wave that one
Yeah.
off. He didn't mean to.
Yeah, he was trying to go by the 9.
He didn't mean to run into it and land perfect. That's not what he meant to do.
Yeah,
there.
it did go his way. Now he's assuming that he pockets this ball in the side, and he goes up 11-7. So Dean's got not much time to shine here. I mean, I know Nick needs 6 games. It's not exactly automatic to get those 6 games, but Dean's needs 10, and there's no time like the present to get it started. I mean, you don't have to win them all at once, but you got to start clawing and scratching those single games and safety
Mini
battles
victories
and
yeah,
winning the skirmish and then winning the battle before you end up
Don't
winning
worry
the war.
about the war. Don't worry about the war. We're still
Exactly. And just seems like too many of those back and forth games have ended up 4th in Nick's win column. You know what I mean? And even some of the good shooting or great shooting and shot making that Dean has made has not translated to wins. And he's gotten some unfortunate rolls, but early in the match, he unfortunately just blatantly missed some 9 balls and blatantly scratched and missed some shots.
So that one he hit a little harder than the rest.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of gave that one a little bit of cookies, and he's still got to look at a good safety here. I think he'll probably bank the one towards Dean's chalk there and get the cue ball up here. I mean, he kind of could go for the bank on the one, but and bring
You
the
think
cue
he
ball
banks
around.
the one cross banks it in the corner?
Yeah, I think he just banks the one
Yeah.
like this and sends the cue
For
ball
safe.
with some spin,
Yeah. Yeah,
That's what I
distance.
I think that's what I would do. I think and
Distance. Yeah.
he's and that's what he's doing too.
It looks like he went for the make there, though.
He might have.
I mean, it's a 2-way.
Yeah.
It comes out nice for a 2-way.
It's hard to
But I don't think he was playing the bank because of where the cue ball is.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
I
and we
think
couldn't
Dean's got
hear if
that-
he called it or
I
not.
think Dean's got the lane here. He might be able to just get through that 7 ball.
Right. Yeah, looks like he can get out of there fine, even if he rail firsts it just a little bit. Could
His
hit,
next ball's the 3 on the
hit
side.
the rail right
Yeah.
in here, yeah.
Come on, 6 ball. There we go. All right, Dean's just a hair off a straight here, and he can just kind of stun over for the 5. He could even just try to stop it here and be okay on the 5. He doesn't really need much. He's stunned over. Got a little closer to his work.
All right, well, the top players in the back are Anthony Boone and Robert Mayman.
Oh, we learned.
They're the 2 top players in the state today. Just today though.
Yeah, today. Robert Mayman was declaring that he was the best C player in Minnesota for many years, as I recall.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I could debate that claim.
if he ever gets rest, he could play good.
Yeah, flying around the country with his job and then flying around the world with his daughter, Kennedy, for big time pro tournaments is a tough schedule.
Yeah, he loves his daughter. Gives her the world. That's his princess.
Oh, yeah. She's a great player, too. She's really coming along. Trains here at Slate Billiards Club quite often. And when she's in town, that is.
Dean put inside on that, which brought him down low. So now he's on the 50-yard line on this 8-ball.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like he's pointing to there. Wants to shoot it there.
Wants to not scratch in the side. He did miss the scratch, but he also missed the ape. And unfortunately, Dean just can't afford to find himself in those situations and have those kind of errors. With the score being what it is, Nick's just going to inch along and scrape along a couple more victories here that were, Dean had in his pocket. But there was a hole in his pocket and they slipped away. Nick's gone a little far here.
Yep.
So this is a little bit of a tester. So, I mean, you don't have to make this. This is not.
Yeah, no, this is
Guaranteed
definitely
by
not
any
a
means.
sidewalk. The scratch in the upper right's in play.
Came with the shot.
No shot.
Yep.
Give him the score. We have a 12-7
Mm-hmm.
match going on here.
Yep. Yeah, it just seems like Dean's never really gotten comfortable or gotten into a real rhythm for more than a game or so. And limited at that. Unfortunately, we've seen some other matches in this tournament along the way where, you talk to the guy afterwards and it's like, that's not my game.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't run one rack of 9-ball. Come
Yeah.
on, off of my break or theirs. And
But sorry to say,
Yeah.
that was your game today.
It was your
That's all
game
you-
today.
That's what you
Yeah.
brought.
yeah, sometimes you don't know who's going to show up on Sunday, whether it's Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. And
Yeah, and you fall back on your preparation, and if
Yeah.
you're not prepared and someone else is, they're going to make you pay.
and even though there is, obviously no slop and no early nines, there still is a luck factor in, you get the breakout and you get a shot, or you miss and you leave them safe, or you miss and you leave it open, or they miss and you get, left not much to shoot at. But I don't think Dean can hang his hat on that. I think Dean knows that he had opportunities here and missed opportunities, unfortunately, and several forced errors as well that put Nick, pretty strong in the lead. I think he was up 4-1, 3-1 to start with, and kind of never looked back. That being said, he's still got to win 5 more games,
Yep.
and
Not
Dean
over.
is far from dead yet. But like I said, just kind of the creep, the score creep of just one more and one more. Dean wins 3, he wins 1.
There's no one rail to get to this.
You know.
Yeah. I think he played a really good
Yeah,
safety
Dean scratching his
there.
head there. Nick played a pretty nice save. He's got to go 2 rails here into the second diamond.
Yeah,
for the one
hopefully,
is-
like you said, Dean can just grind it out, get
Yeah.
one more and get one more, because we need Hill. He
Yeah,
needs
we
to win,
talked
you
about
know.
this
Yeah,
Hill.
yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to force the Hill option here.
So we're not cheering against you, Nick. We're just cheering for Hill.
Yeah, let's see if he's got the running English here.
Good shot, Dino.
Oh, double kissed and left it
Pretty
just right.
strong. So he can maybe just tick off of this.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he can just shave it or not. That was a really nice shot by Dean, 2 rails. Got a little nice double kiss out of it too, but as I've said before, you got to get it and hit it good to be able to hit it lucky. So David Dugal says, I'm the best C player in the state. Robert is a close second.
Uh-oh, David Dugal's got to match up with Robert Mayman.
Well, Rob said that in a different era when he was playing more pool for sure. But
I remember when Robert Mayman was saying, I'm gonna, in the next couple months, I think I'm gonna teach Kennedy how to spin the cue ball. You know, back then when she was a little,
Just
I don't know, 14 or 13.
playing straight pool, straight shot.
We didn't get into the spin zone yet, you know, but
yeah, look at her now.
Now she can teach her dad how to spin the cue ball.
Yeah, she definitely has surpassed his skills. But then again, her full-time job is the UPL league, and
yep, she's definitely
Rob's full-time job is a little more demanding.
Okay, so
Dean's back on the horse here.
He tried to leave him.
Yeah, let's see what Dean can come with here. I mean, if we're going to get to Hill, Dean's going to have to win games to do it, right? So let's see what he's got in store here. He's got himself an angle on the 3 where he can just bounce off the rail and draw back if he wants. He just kind of yanked it there. He got to the 4, but you know, these pockets just don't like that kind of force, and he actually cut it away from the rail before it got to the pocket, I think. So that was probably not going to work out. Nick went for a safety. I think it leaked out on him. Dean should be able to make this ball. I think he might be going forward off of the 8 and down table with some outside, which would be right English. We'll see if he can clear the 8 or not. That would be my assertion. Yeah, just kind of fired it there. You know, these misses and unforced errors just kind of starting to pile up on Dean here. Even if he had the cut, he definitely overcut it there, whether he had it or not. I don't know. But I can understand he wanted to get the speed to get down table, but hard to say what the right play was there, or if Dean executed what his intentions were or not. An uncharacteristic miss from Nick there. Might have been trying to cook it with some extra outside left English there with some top to avoid the 8. He did avoid the 8, but if you cut it a little more, he still would have been in good shape there and would have made the ball, but an uncharacteristic miss from Nick. Nice shot from Dean. Kissed off the ball next to it and left himself hooked. Well, I think that's a pretty good investment in the chat there. I mean, too much time with your favorite only child is probably a good thing, as opposed to spending it playing pool all the time. But to each their own. Having no children myself, I still don't put a ton of time in on the table, so not as much as I once did, for sure. Much less than I once did. I think that's the case for a lot of people as they come into more responsibilities or come into more opportunities off the table, or create more opportunities for themselves off the table. That was a really tough angle. Nick went to the side pocket there on this 4 ball. There's almost zero room for error on that shot, but he did attack it. And I think he was willing to accept the bank or the safety bank on the 6 ball had he made it. Now Dean's looking at cutting this ball in the side pocket and going 4 rails for the 6. These are the kind of predicaments, that Dean is having to get through and close to win games. And it's a wise choice. That's a wise choice. I don't mind that shot, actually shooting it, as long as you feel confident you can make it, because the cue ball is going to go where it's going to go anyway, which is 3 to 4 rails up table. But this safety is a much better shot. And it puts the pressure back on Nick. Puts the risk in on his doorstep rather than on your own. And I think that's something that Dean has not been able to do for the majority of this match, is to control the table and put the risk onto Nick. I think Dean's been taking a lion's share of the risks. But he's a shot maker. That's his style. That's his motto. So, when they're going in and you're getting rewarded, then it's great. And when they're not going in and you're not rewarded, then it's not great. It's kind of hot and cold. But speaking of shot maker, there Dean goes, banking in a ball, getting shape on the 6, seeing if the 7 squeezes by the 9 in the side. Looks like it does. He's going to draw back. If it does go, maybe a little low and a little right here. I think he half stroked it there. He might have gave up halfway through his stroke. I don't think he wanted to be this thin down table on the 7. It's a tight squeeze there, so he's really lining it up. I think this is a 3 rail shot here. If he goes forward, he's got to watch the scratch. And if he draws it, I think he's going to need a little outside spin. And he did not execute his point that he was looking for there. Seems like he's kind of getting a little frustrated and a little animated in his results here. That's unfortunate. I've played Dean a couple of times and seen him play a few times as well, and I know that this is definitely not the potential and the skill that he possesses in his game, but unfortunately that's what's showing up here today. Nick double nipples the side pocket, avoiding the scratch, and is straight in on the 8 ball. Wow, that was fortuitous there. He made a great shot. He table speed, pro speed of the 7 ball in there for shape on the 8. But just the narrowest of margins to avoid a scratch. But, I've said it before, if you hit a ball good, you got to hit it good to get lucky. Nick has climbed ahead. And another back and forth game that ended up 4th in the end, with the results being a W for Nick. (13-7). Dean needs 10 to win, and Nick needs 4 in this race to 17. Winner breaks 9 ball with a template rack, 1 on the spot. Winner breaks format, no slop. It's all call shot, no early 9s, no 9s on the break. If you do make a 9 ball combination as a legal shot, it simply spots up and you continue to shoot. If any ball is inadvertently pocketed, the opposing player has the option to accept or refuse the shot and force the offender to shoot from where it lies. There is also a 3-foul rule, which we haven't seen much of. Not only never really rearing its possibility in this match, but in really many of the other matches, which is kind of surprising because there has been a fair amount of defensive strategy and defensive play and kicking, but people are playing safe and hooking them up or locking them up, and guys are kicking out of them. Guys are jumping out of them. So it's maybe just not come to fruition in gameplay situations, but I also think that there hasn't been a real priority or motivation to claim a victory by 3-fouling, with that intention. I think people are maybe playing, tie up the balls or break up this ball and play safe behind it kind of thing. So the games tend to be more offensive minded or leaning towards offensive play. Well, Nick's really getting to work here in this rack. He's played a nice break and capitalized on his position. This is a long, straight kind of tester here for folks that play on bar tables. They may not have the appreciation or respect for this shot that it is, because these pockets are pretty tight. And if you catch the facing, it does not necessarily go. And if you rub the rail on the way in, it certainly does not have to go. And Nick's going to want to stop this ball, I think, for the side pocket 5 ball. I don't know if he's going to want to roll ahead or not. We'll see. Rolling ahead definitely helps the pocketing. And it smooths out. Good shot, good choice. Yeah, the stop shot there just requires too much speed at that distance. It's going to definitely jeopardize your ball pocketing on the 4. So good judgment by him. Good execution. And it looks like he's utilized that to find his way through good position and a nice angle to get back to the 8 and break and run. Well, I spoke too soon. I mean, that shot wasn't a gimme, but certainly he had the angle that he wanted to travel to the 8. But it looks like he just got it thin there. Again, I don't know that I've seen more than one shot that Nick has missed where his cue was steering or, any kind of stroke, errors or anything like that. He's just maybe not quite on the line of aim, or maybe just a little too much spin or something like that. But he's shooting very accurately, pocketing very accurately for the most part. He's really only missed just a handful of balls that, that he should make. Definitely made far less errors than Dean in this match, whether it be pocketing or scratching or, safeties or anything like that. He's played pretty close, relatively close to error-free. It was a nice little stroke there. He was on the wrong side of that 8 ball. Just put a nice topspin stroke with inside, which would be right in this case. And beat the scratch on the opposite right side with all that spin and came into a nice little shot on the 9. Good spin, speed, and stroke control there for Nick to get a nice little shot on the 9 ball for the win. Well, that's 14-7. Nick needs 3 games to get to 17, and Dean needs 10. It's just kind of been a festival of frustration, I think, for Dean. It seems that Nick has just kind of rolled with the punches and rolled with the rolls and kind of stayed steady on his feet here and steady in his mindset and emotional management, and stayed steady and strong in his stroke and his game, and just powered through whatever circumstances, and come out with some wins. Early on in the match, Dean definitely gave him a few gift wrapped 9 balls and 8 balls. There's been a couple since then, but here and there. But Nick has earned his way here as well. He's made some nice breaking runs. He just made previously. He's had a couple of nice runs as well. So it's not just maybe Dean losing some games and Nick coming out on top. Nick has, set his tone and planted his flag and won games on his own stick as well. So unfortunately, it's a little column, a good amount of column A and a good amount of column B just added up against Dean's scorecard here. So we'll see what Jump Shot has to offer here for Nick. He just caught the edge of that 3 and put himself in harm's way. That's ball in hand for Dean. I mean, Nick didn't have to get hooked behind that 3 ball there. He just got into harm's way a little bit. But I would dare say my colleague Dave O'Keefe might agree with me. This is now or never for Dean. He's got ball in hand on the 2 ball with an open table to get out. Basically just has to get a good shot on the 8 for a friendly angle to the 9, and he's golden. This is close to a must-have game as you can get. I mean, you definitely don't want, if you're Dean, you definitely don't want Nick getting to 15 anytime in the next hour or two, much less in the next game or two. So, it's kind of now or never for Dean, and that might bring out a flurry of great shots and great racks. And he could get, 10, 14, 11, 14 or something along those lines. Or it might just be too much to overcome and, cue ball this and circumstances that and, shape up the break this or that. And could be short-lived. So that's why we play the games. We'll wait and see. Dean just seems like he had the weight of the world on that shot, when he hit that ball and walked away from the table there, walked around the table. I think it was a sigh of relief. Nice shot. Straight in on the 9. Well done, Dino. Saying there's life in these old legs yet. See, that's taking advantage of an error, unforced error, and that's taking advantage of ball in hand and closing out a game. And that's something that Dean has unfortunately not made enough of the opportunities he earned on his own and were given by Nick. But that is one of them. And he's got to keep adding those up, 8 to 14. And he's got to keep adding those up in a hurry. I know I'm stating the obvious here, but like I said, to be redundant from what I said earlier, Dave, Dean's got to get his poop in a group right about now or never.
Yep.
In that
Go time.
And that realization and that, that pressure cooker, if you will, might just sharpen his senses and sharpen his eye and sharpen his discipline and sharpen his stroke, and he could come out with a flurry of shots in games won here and get right up in it again, or it might prove to be too much and, you know, a circumstance off the break position or a circumstance off of, you know, a missed position or safety could prove to be too much. So we'll soon see which is which. Well, it might be the break position off the very first game. This 2-ball is definitely pocketable, but the 3's on the opposite end of the table and no real path to get there. I don't see. I mean, do you think he just power strokes topspin here to miss the 8 and go down to the bottom rail in between the second and first diamond and goes 2 rails up table for the 8? That sounds super hyper aggressive to me, but what do you see, Dave? You think he'll just stun this ball over and accept the bank? No, he hit my shot exactly. He hit a great shot. That was real aggressive, but it was a great stroke and a great shot. You know, there's nothing saying that 2-ball has to drop on these tight tables when you hit a power stroke like Dean just did, and he hit it right in the heart. He just needed a little bit more travel up table to get his 3. Yeah, it was kind of I interpret that as maybe a lackluster safety attempt there. He was trying to get the cue ball into traffic down where the 9 and the 5 are, but he got caught by the 9 there and ended up short. So Nick's got a safe that didn't get safe, and now he's got an open table.
And we're only cheering for Dean because he's way down.
Yeah, he
so
needs
if we
to get
team
Hill Hill.
one-sided, we're
Yeah, we're here. We're cheering for Hill Hill, and it's
because Nick's got a little bit of control of this set right now.
yeah, and he always has. I mean,
No,
within safe distance ever since it was 3-1, really. So, you know, I don't think he's ever really had any sweat on his brow for anything.
No. And he's been calm.
Yeah.
Hasn't been rushing it. So.
No, and I did mention earlier, he just kind of smoothed out his pacing, was real rhythmic and real systematic and real even, you know, even speed, even pace, even disposition, you know. And when things didn't go the way he wanted to go, you know, he never really got pressured or punished for more than a game, or even if he got punished that game. So it's just kind of been smooth sailing on both sides of the equation for Nick today, for the most part.
That was a pretty calm shot.
Yeah, that was a smart little play. Just play short side. No need to get super fancy there. Just come in between them. Yeah, he just tickled the 8 on the way by, and then ended up underneath it there and made a nice shot. Set himself up for the go-ahead 9-ball. That's 15. Yeah, Dean's got some distance to cover here, and it's not looking...
Max says Nick's biggest sweat was when he lost his chalk because he didn't have a backup.
That might be the comment of the night there, Max.
Yep.
Good job in the
You
in the
got
chat.
it.
Yeah, he definitely was sweating that $20 chalk. No doubt there.
The set got serious.
Yeah.
Chalk went in the pocket.
Yeah, I mean, I could have even played the boot camp commercial there, but I didn't want to push the wrong button, so I didn't. Yeah. JD and Hank the Tank need to stream a match, says Mary. The comeback begins, Max says. Let's give Nick his credit of playing a great match. Yeah, that's true. Hearing a little too much about Dean. Yep. Blue cheese is on point tonight. Yeah, and I think we addressed that earlier. You know, we're definitely trying to, you know, fuel the fire of Dean a little bit. Not that he can hear us or that he knows anything that we're saying, but Nick LAHR's been in control of this match since probably about 45 minutes in, to be serious. And even though the score has gotten a little closer from time to time, he's still pulled away 1 more, 2 more, 1 more, 2 more, and 3 more. And Dean's just been out of reach, too far out of reach for most of the match. Appreciate the commentary accolades. You like that time to get his poop in a group? There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Festival of frustration. Yeah, well, thank you. I have a few alliterations from time to time. Nick's real test is going to be Craig. Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, he unfortunately Dean didn't come with his regular game today, and so he didn't press or test Nick much for very long, if at any brief points in this match. But you might be right. Yeah, it might be almost time to hit the cold shower and the ice bath, as they say, after the contests. Maybe Lambeau Field will have an open stall for him, since nobody's using it just yet. Well, Nick's got himself into a little bit of trouble here, or a lot of bit of trouble, at least in this game scenario here. Certainly well ahead in the match, but he's calling the combo, kicking the 6 into the 7. This shot could very well go. Yep. I saw there was a good possibility of him making that, and he made a great shot. And if this 6 goes by, which it appears to, that he's not giving it much consideration, so it must be a clean shot here. And got himself into trouble and got himself right out of it. Escaped like Houdini with a kick combo and on the hill. I have to say, Nick's really put on a good performance and a good display in several categories here. I mean, he's been breaking well. He's been shooting well. He's been kicking well. He's played some good saves. He's made some good shots, some great shots. And I think overall, his choices in, when to go and when not to go can be sometimes challenging to diagnose. And I think he's done that as well. So other than a handful of misses, which in a race to 17 games is certainly going to happen, this is 625 and under, not 725 and under, right? So,
right.
I mean, you're going to miss a ball here and there, trying to force it or trying to get a tough position or just maybe losing focus for a brief moment. That's really all you can really say about Nick's performance here today. So, to reiterate, I mean, Nick has definitely won his own games and won his own way here and won his own way through today as well. So, he definitely got a head start with some Dean's errors, giving him a little cushion to start with, but he's taken it on his own from there, and really put the suffocation, strangulation on Dean for a majority of the opportunities and the majority of the match.
They're saying Trent Miller wants to know, where's Nick from?
Nick
I didn't know him either, Trent.
Well, he is currently residing in Ramsey. He used to work
up in the north. Okay.
Yeah, he used to work at University Billiards or Two Stooges, whichever iteration it was at that time, eons ago, and used to play a lot of pool there at Two Stooges or University, perhaps in that era, whichever.
Okay.
So yeah, he's definitely a local Twin Cities guy. I think he grew up around the Coon Rapids area, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
Looks like Dean's got a 50-yard line around the one.
Yeah, it seems like we've said that about 4 or 5 times
Yeah.
tonight. That he,
Oh, and Billy Bob Joe, if any of the good players want to play you, I would love to stream that. All you got to do is message me. Table time's on me. I'll even buy you some drink, some pops.
some pops, some
So,
sodas.
if you can get them to play, then you're a miracle worker, and you're probably still the favorite.
Nice.
So, yep, if he can just bounce,
Yeah.
he
He's got to
still
make
cut it.
another nice cut, and he's going to send the cue ball into oblivion to cut this ball. But I mean, at this point, Nick's on the hill. If we forgot to mention that, 16 games in a race to 17, and Dean's got the world ahead of him. 9 games in a row.
You
This
just
is-
got to bang a quick 9 games out.
Yeah, and he hit the scratch. Yeah, I've found that scratch too, and I still don't know how that happens. But somehow when you hit that thin cut with topspin and catch any right at all, even though the angle's as thin as it is, it tends to stretch and tends to find that impossible angle in the side pocket. I've done it a dozen, if not
Yep.
24 times
Don't
myself.
feel special, Dean. We all do that.
Yeah, it's just the unfortunate timing of it that it's when your opponent is on the hill, and he's gotten a little bit on the wrong side of this 5 already. You saw him shake his head there. He knows he's not on the right side of this ball.
So you go all the way to the side rail then, and back
Yeah,
to
he
the
might
middle?
force it back with inside. Or no, he went around.
See if he gets a bump here.
Oh, he didn't get a good bump. Yeah, I do like that going around though. I probably just didn't get quite enough spin or quite enough speed there with that cut, but I do like that shot. I think
He
that's a
shook
good
his
choice.
head on that one. He doesn't like it, but
Yeah.
I think if I'm up 16-8, I'm still trying to bank this for the win.
Yeah. Make a statement shot. There's definitely no penalty for losing this game. I mean, it's the old cliches, and why are these cliches still around is because they're usually true. The first game and the last game are the hardest to win. Closing a rack or closing a set is the most challenging. I mean, there's certainly no reason for Nick not to do that. I'm not insinuating that he won't, but
It looks like he's calling the combo.
he's beyond favored at this point. Yeah, he's disappointed with his effort there. He knows he kind of put a half-ass stroke into that one.
And while he's watching Dean run these 8 racks, he's gonna think about that shot. No, I don't know.
8 or 9.
That's all I could. No, I just want Hill.
Just
After
Hill.
that,
That's right.
anybody
Yeah,
can win.
right. Yeah.
Then I'll be cheering for both again.
Yeah. Well, I don't think position play is a factor here. Just got to keep the cue ball on the table and pocket the ball, right? Want to see Dino at least put some racks down here. He's if he gets to 10 or 11, he might feel he got a little bit of momentum on the way out the door here.
Sure. Every game he gets is just more respect for.
Yeah, right. It's putting a little self-confidence, a little self-respect back on the scoreboard, if you will, or in his own mind, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, no feeding the trolls in the chat.
Here we go.
Let's go,
Dean's
Dino.
gotta break and run 6, and then play safe on the last one because he didn't get shaped. No.
Nick's definitely going to get himself a nice full container of blue cheese after this match.
Yeah, Nick, you got to eat it with a fork though. If you're watching this, you don't got the spoon yet. Craig
that's right.
Herbert still got something to say about that.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yep, so he's breaking from the way out. So the 8 ball should go. So the 8 ball goes, even made the 1 and the 2. Look at that break. Yeah, I think if he can pocket the 3 and get in line, 5 to the 6 is a little tough. Dino's in the game now.
Yeah, he got himself a good break. He got that side cut break, and he's got the one in the side pocket. I think he was trying to get that working for him, the whole match. Or maybe he was trying to get the one to bounce off the edge by the side pocket and get the one ball into the kitchen. But at this point, he's made a great break. He's made a few balls. He's got a tester to start with for sure. Just a little thick. See if Nick goes underneath here and out to the middle. Nope, straight back.
Put the outside on it.
Do you like that inside on that shot?
100%.
I like that too. I like going the 3 rails and back out to the middle. You
Yeah.
really got to hit it pure, and I think that's what scares people.
I hit that shot. That's a one pocket shot too, because you're trying to shoot balls in the same pocket a lot.
Yeah. But I mean, we're not being critical of Nick at this point. I mean, he's got a get out of jail free card and probably got about 6 copies of it in his pocket. So
just in case.
He can't even get arrested in this town at this point from a pool perspective.
Yeah. He's got pool credit in this set.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
Was just trying to make it, but then, so Dean can
I'm not sure if he was trying to tuck it under the 7 there, or if he was trying to make it.
Or if he was, could have been a little of both.
Hard to say, yeah. And he's probably okay with the result either way.
Knowing doubled up.
Yeah. We've got the 4 and the 6 combo lined up, and the 5 is on the left corner pocket. The 7 is near the pink there. Yeah.
Played straight safe.
Yeah. I don't know if he got it. He's real close to the 7, but not close enough.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, he can't hit it straight on. I don't think
he can cut it in though, right?
I don't think he can hit it. I think he has to go rail first.
Oh, okay.
It looks pretty on camera. It looks but he pointed like it
I don't think it's pros.
No, he pointed like he got it.
Yeah, I think he can cut it. I think he can cut this.
Yeah.
Even if he overcuts it, the 5 might.
Gosh, look on camera. It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, it's so crazy, isn't it? Yeah, people at home don't appreciate. Yeah, I thought he could cut it.
Good shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he left him tough, dude.
But I mean, it's almost like I had to use my imagination a little bit to see that he could cut it.
Said, no way.
Because if you're just pure looking at the camera, it doesn't look like it goes. But like I was just kind of using my imagination, like I think.
So this is Dean shooting now. We'll leave it for this view because you can kind of cut this in off of the point.
Yeah, but you don't want to. And the thing is, if you spin the rail here, you're draining the scratch in the bottom corner next to the cue ball. So you don't want to flirt with that too much. I mean, at this point, Dean's just going to fire it in, I'm sure. Oh, he tried the spin shot. So it's ball in hand for Nick. I don't know if he tried to cut that really thin or if he tried to spin it back underneath. I think he tried to cut it
so
thin.
So Nick just has to get shape on the 6 ball. That's
basically
the key here.
Yeah.
Where does he want to be on the 5 to make getting shape on the 6 easy?
I wonder if you don't just play short side on the 6 here and keep it within sight. You know what I mean? And just take the 7 ball out of the equation.
Oh, here's your 2 rails right at the 7.
Yeah, and if you don't like the shot on the 6 or you don't like the gamble, you can always play safe behind the 7 and send the 6 down table. That's my thought process, but no, he drew it back, got to the rail.
Good shot.
Yeah, good shot. Good speed, good stroke. So do you roll this in and take the 7 in the opposite corner? Looks like he's got just a little bit of angle that should be.
Stun it right over too.
Yeah, you could stun it over for the side or the corner. Just looks like that's the way he's going. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
And still, you could shoot this in the side if you want.
Yep.
I think I do.
Yep. Nick's 2 balls away from the finals here. And Dean Lanthrip currently stalled at 9. Nice stroke. Yeah, he really put a confident stroke on that and came over for the 9. Great position to close the match. Took his time and a couple of confident strokes there on the 6, the 7, and the 9 with good position and good control. Unfortunately, Dean gave him the ball in hand there and he just took it down.
Can you get a picture of my friend?
We'll do that.
And he gets a shirt. I have
Dino gets a shirt.
a whole box here.
And
So.
3rd, 4th place. Congratulations to Nick LAHR on
Nick
his
LAHR
trip to the
and
finals.
Craig. We got a good matchup. Not sure when it will be. I'll let you guys know. It might be probably going to be Mike and Sam commentating, our 2 best. And
Kind of you to say.
we'll find out when that is once the boys, Nick and Craig, get together, find out when. And thanks for watching, everybody.
Could we give them a teaser that it will definitely be within a week that final will be played? So
it'll
at
be
least
next weekend. It'll be Friday, Saturday, or Sunday next weekend.
So if you put your little clicker on the bell, that will notify you when our next live stream will be happening. So you won't miss a thing in the finals of the 625 and under Slate Billiards Club shootout.
Please.
For Craig Herbert and Nick LAHR in the finals. Please tune in, like, subscribe, and share the stream.
Over and out. Have a good night, everybody.
Demetrius Gelatis here with Minnesota Pool Boot Camp. We live in an age with abundant information about pool, but without organization and direction, it doesn't translate into bottom line results. I've been coaching full-time for over 6 years, and I've guided more than 200 students step by step to higher levels of pool. Now I've partnered with Slate Billiard Club to provide online group coaching and make our training available to players everywhere. No travel necessary. Join us online for just $19.95 a month. You'll get access to my Minnesota Pool Boot Camp playbook, covering cue ball, pattern play, mental game, and the common leaks that people have in applying this to get their game to the next level. The best part is I'll be there working with you every step of the way to give you the direction you need to see results right away.